A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all-old-time radio.
Kroger Tender Ray Beef, no other beef so fresh can be so tender, presents Hearts in Harmony transcribed. K is for Kroger, C is for cut, B is for beef. KCB means Kroger cut beef, and Kroger cut beef means more meat for your money. That's right, ladies. Kroger cut beef gives you more meat, less waste. You see, before the meat is weighed and priced, the Kroger method of cutting beef removes excess bone, excess waste, and stringy ends. Yes, that's before the meat is weighed and priced. And that's why Kroger cut beef gives you more meat for your money. It's top U.S. government grades of beef. Meat that's tender, juicy, rich red, and marbled with just the right amount of flavory fat. Yes, it's a better value in top-grade beef. Now, for example, let's take a Kroger cut sirloin steak. Before the steak is weighed and priced, the Kroger method of cutting beef removes the stringy end, excess waste, and excess bone. So you get a better value because you don't pay steak price for stringy meat, excess bone, or waste. But whether you buy a steak or roast, you receive more meat, less waste. That's at your Kroger store. Visit your neighborhood Kroger store soon. Make it a rule to buy Kroger cut beef and get more meat for your money. And now, Hearts in Harmony. Life is like an unmarked road. You travel it, but you have no idea where you're going. Yet the road, like life, is interesting. There may be a pleasant surprise at the next bend, and then sorrow or even tragedy at the turn beyond. But the road goes on, and so does life, and so do the people living it. Penny Gibbs met a tragedy along the way, but she's going on, looking anxiously ahead to what's before her. This morning she's dressing to go downtown for an appointment when the doorbell rings. From her upstairs room, Penny says,
"Somebody better get that door. I'm not dressed yet."
Well, I'm on my way to answer now, Gibbsy.
Thanks, Freddie. If it's for me, I'll be down in a minute.
Yeah, okay. Yeah?
Hello. Hello. My name's Hodges, Don Hodges.
Yeah. Hello, Mr. Hodges. Come on in. Know all about who you are.
My fame has spread.
Yeah, it has. From one end of the Gibbs house to the other. You want to make a movie star out of little Julie Martin, don't you?
I not only want to, but I'm going to.
Oh.
Where's Miss Gibbs?
Oh, she'll be down in a couple of minutes. Yeah, come on in. Make yourself comfortable. My name's Freddie.
Well, I don't know you, Freddie. What's the rest of it?
Lang. Think you can make a movie star out of me, too?
Well, now you might be surprised.
Look, all this kisser of mine is good for is a pie receiver. And Pie Flane went out with the Keystone Cops.
You got it wrong. A pretty face isn't important in Hollywood anymore.
No?
Don't tell me you really want to be in the movies.
Well, the dough sounds pretty good, and the hours aren't bad, and I
don't
think
kid yourself about the hours out there, Freddie. Many a top star has to appear at 5 in the morning for location shots.
Well, 4 o'clock in the morning doesn't bother me. I'm a farmer, you see, and, well, I don't get my name up in lights at all.
You stick to farming, Freddie. People have to eat.
Well, here's one people who has to. That's why I'm a farmer.
Well, you'd never be cast as a farmer in pictures, Freddie. You look like anything but a man behind the plow.
Well, the man behind the plow is the man on top of the tractor today, Mr. Hodges. Anyhow, I wasn't born a farmer. I came from the back streets of New York, and about the only harvest I got from that field was what I could reap from trash cans.
Oh, yeah. You came up the tough way, huh?
Yeah, but not because it had to be tough. I was just a little wise guy who thought it was being a sissy to do things the right and the easy way. Hey, what am I popping off about myself for?
Mine is a face that can launch 1,000 words.
And I got a tongue that can spill 1,000,000 words when it gets going. Sorry I spouted so.
Skip it. I'm glad you did. I like to have people tell me about themselves. You know, you can't know a person who doesn't tell you anything, and I like knowing people. By the way, I really came to Rossville to see Penny Gibbs, you know.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Gee, you can see she was a beautiful girl before the accident.
And she's going to be okay again, too. Just as terrific to look at as ever.
I certainly hope so. What happened to her?
Oh, she was driving down to Heatherton with Barry Carlton. They were going to be married down there that night. Little girl ran across the road. Barry swerved the car and went into a ditch, turned over, and... Well, it was pretty bad. Barry died a couple of weeks later, and Penny...
When did this happen? A long time ago?
Oh, I would say 2.5 to... No, I guess it was 3 months ago. Not long enough ago for Penny to get the guy out of her bonnet yet. If she ever will.
That's tough. It was pretty obvious to me that she had some kind of trouble. But I didn't know it was as bad as all that.
Well, you two seem to be getting along like old friends.
Hi, Gibbsy.
Oh, good morning, Miss Gibbs.
Hello, Mr. Hodges. Didn't expect to see you so soon. You said you'd call when you got back to town.
Well, I was going to call, but when I passed the drugstore down the corner, I was in front of your house before I could get up the energy to stop my car and go in and phone.
It really doesn't matter.
Say, look, you two will have to excuse me now. I told Nora I'd run downtown and get her some things. Oh, and say, Hodges, don't forget me when the movies are looking for a new screen lover, will you?
Oh, Freddie, Lane,
Sure.
out of here. Oh, Lord.
Don't worry, Freddie, I won't.
Oh.
He's a nice kid.
Yeah, we're all very fond of Freddie. But I remember the time when he was about as pleasant as an overgrown juvenile delinquent.
He hinted to me that he'd had rather misguided beginnings.
Mm-hmm.
But about guiding the beginnings of little Miss Martin's career, Miss Gibbs, have
Yes,
you...
Mr. Hodges, I had talked to my lawyer about it. He phoned me early yesterday and said he saw no reason why we had to have Peg's permission to go ahead with the screen test.
Swell. Then the kid's as good as on her way to stardom right now. I didn't think your lawyer'd have any objections, so I made reservations for a studio in New York for the day after tomorrow.
Oh.
I'll pick you up
Well,
there.
that's very short notice, Mr. Hodges.
Oh, I tried to get a studio for later, Penny, but I couldn't. If I didn't take the studio for day after tomorrow, I couldn't have it again for another month. That's why I had to take it down tomorrow.
Well, I suppose I could get her ready.
And get yourself ready, too. I want you to come along. And your mother, too, if she can make it. A trip to New York doesn't hurt anybody, and it's all on Don Hodges.
Well, that's very kind of you, but I'm afraid Mother won't be able to make it. See, someone has to stay and help Nora with the baby in the house. So Julie and I will be ready Thursday morning.
Fine. And here's Julie's first job.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is the line she'll have to read when we make the screen test. Now, someone will have to help her memorize it. You think you'll be able to handle this?
Oh, I think so.
Swell. All right, now that we're all set, I'll phone New York and hire an actor to do the scene with her. If she has any trouble with the skit, you phone me. I'll be at the Rossville Hotel, room 809. Call me anytime you want it.
Hi, Freddie. Hi, kid.
Hmm?
Hi. Don't you remember me?
No, I never saw you before in my life.
Hey, you punk, you come back here. Don't you give me that I don't know you stuff. You know me, Freddie Lang, and you might as well admit it.
Okay, Helen, I know you. So what?
That's more like it. Aren't you a little surprised to see me?
I am.
And aren't you glad to see me?
You know I'm not.
Oh, Freddie, you know you don't mean that.
No? Well, just don't let me tell you how much I mean it. Look, what are you doing up here anyway? This is a nice town that's full of nice people.
Well, maybe I'm here to give it some flavor. Nice towns with nice people are so dull. What are you doing here?
I live here, and I work here.
So I heard from one of the gang. But I didn't believe it, so I thought I'd come up here and see.
Look, you didn't come up here to see me. Who are you running away from this time?
Nobody in particular, just everybody in general. It's dull in the old neighborhood since the gang broke up.
None of them broken out yet, have they?
Nah, they're all in the Star, and they're going to stay there for a long time. I got a letter from Bill Carver's sister. That's how I heard you were in Rossville.
Well, that's just great. Remind me to choke the guy who taught Carver's sister to write.
Oh, Freddie, what's the matter? What are you so sore about?
Nothing at all. Look, I'm in an awful hurry.
Oh, hey, now, wait a
kid.
minute, kid. You don't get rid of me this easy.
Look, I got rid of you and the whole gang when I scrammed out of New York. And I want to stay rid of you, see?
You're still the same old Freddie. You object to everything, but sooner or later you can be talked into anything.
Well, so long, Helen. I've got to get along.
Come on. How about taking me somewhere?
Huh?
Just for old time's sake.
I'm sorry, Helen. I don't have the time.
Come on. I'm starved and I hate to eat alone.
I told you, Helen, when I left
town. Sandwich, Freddie. We've got a lot of things to talk about.
Well, maybe you have, but I haven't. I like to forget about New York, the neighborhood, and the gang, and all the rest of the trouble.
Yeah. There was a lot of trouble, wasn't there? But there were some good times, too, Freddie.
Okay, you're right when you say I can be talked into things. That's what you mean by the good times.
We got along. didn't we?
Well, we stayed out of jail, but that's because they never pinned anything on you, and I had some friends who went to bat for me. Look, I'll buy you that sandwich, but then I gotta scram.
Sure. Where we go? I just got into town today and don't know my way around.
Well, there's a place a couple blocks down the street. Come on.
Now you're being the old Freddie Lang I love.
Look, Helen, you better keep moving on. See, this is no place for you.
Oh, but you're the guy for me, Freddie. You always were. I always told you when you grew up I was going to marry you. Maybe you don't have brains, but you're the kind of a guy who can get places without them. Say, you know something, kid? You don't talk the way you used to. You talk good now. Who's been teaching you?
I want to tell you all about that, too, Helen, and lots of other things. Look, I've got a job here now, see? It's a good job. In fact, I'm my own boss. I own a farm now.
Well, I sure was right about you, wasn't I? How'd you get the layout? Steal it from somebody?
No, I got it from my father-in-law.
Oh, I see. Your father-in-law?
Yeah.
You married?
Well, a guy doesn't get himself a father-in-law without marrying, does he?
You're not married. I won't believe it.
I am married, Helen. And I'm married to the best girl that I've ever met. And the swellest girl who ever lived, and we're going to have a baby. Now, look. Please, Helen, don't hang around Rossville and mess up everything, will you? I'll give you some money. I'll do anything you want, only just get out of this town and stay out, will you?
Oh, you married and having a baby. Oh, why, you cheap gutter snipe, petty thief, two-time.
Look, you don't have to remind me of what I was. I remember all that just too well now.
What do you mean what you was? You're still what you used to be, and you always will be.
Well, maybe you're right, Helen, but there are a lot of people here who don't think so.
Well, I think so.
But what you think doesn't matter. It never did.
No? Well, it's going to. Because I'm not leaving town, Freddie Lang. And you're not getting rid of me.
Oh, no?
No. And if you think you can, just try it.
Well, while Julie Martin seems headed for fame and fortune in the movies, Freddie Lang seems doomed to difficulties. Will Freddie's past life loom up to spoil his newfound happiness and add another problem to the cares of Penny Gibbs? Be sure to listen to the next dramatic episode of Hearts in Harmony. KCB. KCB. KCB means Kroger cut beef. And Kroger cut beef means more meat for your money. You see, Kroger cut beef gives you more meat, less waste. Because before the meat is weighed and priced, the Kroger method of cutting beef removes excess bone, excess waste, and stringy ends. Yes, Kroger gives you more meat, less waste. And it's top U.S. government grades of beef. Tender, juicy, rich red, and marbled with just the right amount of flavory fat. So visit your Kroger store soon. Order your favorite cut of steak or roast. If you buy a Kroger cut round steak or roast, notice that the Kroger method of cutting beef gives you a minimum of bone and removes excess waste before the steak or roast is weighed and priced. Remember, whether you buy a steak or roast, Kroger cut beef gives you more meat for your money. And remember, too, ladies, Kroger cut beef is available only at Kroger stores. So plan now to visit your neighborhood Kroger store. There's where you'll find delicious beef, top-grade beef. And there at your Kroger store is where you get more meat for your money. For Kroger cut beef gives you more meat, less waste. Get your share of this tremendous value without delay at your neighborhood Kroger store. Tune in tomorrow, same time, same station, for another exciting transcribed chapter of Hearts in Harmony.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Dragnet.
You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to juvenile detail. A narcotic ring has been supplying drugs to the teenagers in your city. There's no lead to the identity of the key people in the operation. Your job, find them.
It was Monday, February 9th. It was cold in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of juvenile detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Powers. My name's Friday. I was on my way into the office, and it was 8:01 a.m. when I got to Georgia Street Juvenile. The squad room.
Yeah?
That's right.
Hi, old buddy.
Been in long?
Oh, since about 7:30.
How come?
No, I couldn't sleep.
What's the matter? Anything wrong?
Oh, Fay and me had a beef. One of the kids is sick. We were up with him most of the night.
What's the matter?
I took him over the rides yesterday.
The rides?
Rides, you know, the place over there where they have the merry-go-round fair.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Got them carried away, I guess. They sure had a good time, though. Took in everything, roller coaster, airplanes, whole works.
Mm-hmm.
She can't expect us to do it on an empty stomach. We had a little something to eat. Guess maybe we overdid it. Anyway, the youngster got sick last night. Faye says I'm to blame. One thing led to something else, and the beef was on.
So you just got up and came into work, huh?
Yeah. Stopped and had some breakfast, read the paper. Come on in.
How's the kid now?
Okay, it was nothing serious. A little too much cotton candy's all. Faye's got a tendency to make too much of those things, but, you know, she always does.
Yeah. Something we can do for you, young fella?
I'd like to talk to somebody.
All right, come on in. Maybe we can help you.
You're a cop?
That's right. It's Frank Smith. My name's Friday.
Hi.
Hello, son.
What do you want to see us about?
Kind of private. Is there someplace else we can go to talk?
Well, we can, yeah. There's a room down the hall.
Well, that might be better.
All right, we can go down there. Come on. Down this way.
Yeah.
Just a minute. This is it right here. Go ahead.
Yeah.
All right, you want to take a chair right there, son?
Okay.
All right, now what can we do for you?
I want you to put me in jail.
Why?
Because it's the only way I'll stop. I know it. I got to be in a cell or I'll do it again.
Well, what do you mean, son?
I'm hooked bad. I want to stop.
He was a nice-looking boy, well-dressed and clean. He looked like he was in his late teens. He asked us to put him in a cell. There was an intenseness in his eyes that showed that he was serious. Frank and I questioned him further.
What's your name, son?
John Coulter.
You spell the last name for me?
Colter.
How old are you?
17.
Where do you live, son?
You have to have that? Hasn't got anything to do with why I'm here.
Oh, we'll have to have it, son.
1896 Dillon Street.
Is that in L.A.?
Yeah.
How big a habit do you have, son?
I'm using 4 a day.
How long you been hooked?
A year, a day before yesterday.
Want to let us see your arms?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a lot of marks there, haven't you?
Yeah, I guess so.
A couple of them there we better have the doctor look at.
No, all right, I don't care anymore.
How long since you had a fix?
Last night.
You must be feeling a little rough by now, then, aren't you?
Not easy.
Oh, I guess it is.
Hey, you mind pulling those blinds? It's awful bright in here.
Yeah, okay.
You live with your folks?
My father died when I was 5.
Your mother know about this?
No.
She's going to have to, you know.
Then you're going to tell her I'm not.
All right, we'll take care of that.
Is the light better now, son?
Yeah, thanks.
When'd you eat last?
Yesterday.
You hungry now?
No.
How about a cup of coffee?
No, thanks.
How'd you get started on this stuff?
Oh, it probably runs like all the rest of the stories you've heard.
Well, why don't you tell us yours anyway?
All right.
I'm sure we can't get you something.
Only one thing would do any good, and you can't give that to me.
All right, go ahead. Now, how'd you get started?
A couple of years ago, it was Halloween. The kids had a party.
Well?
We all went to this house. Kid that owned it had the rooms all decorated up, you know, paper streamers and those cardboard skeletons.
Mm-hmm.
Had the whole place done up like that. We got there and found out they were figuring to play games. We went the game route for a while, and a bunch of us decided to leave. Things were dull, so we left.
Where'd you go?
Oh, just drove around for a while, tried to figure something to do.
Whose card you have?
One of the kids had his father's.
All right, go ahead.
Well, we drove around for a while, and one of the kids said for us to go up to Mulholland. Go up and scare the lovers up there.
Yeah.
Wasn't anything else to do, so we drove up. When we got there, one of the guys, a fellow I didn't know too good, said he had some tea. Said we should have a blast party.
This boy was at the other party, was he?
Yeah, but I didn't know him. Didn't meet him until we were out on the ride.
Did you go to your school?
No.
All right, son, go ahead.
Well, we parked, and he took out these cigarettes. He had them in a tobacco can. You know, like you buy pipe tobacco in.
Uh-huh.
Had them in one of them. Then we lit up and started to smoke. At first it made me sick. I didn't like it much. Come right down to it, I didn't think the whole thing was such a good idea.
Why'd you do it then?
All the kids there had to, or they'd have said I was chicken.
All right. How'd you get started on the hard stuff?
Oh, I just got to the point where there wasn't much kick in tea. You know, same thing all the time. Wanted to go up a step.
Who set you up?
One of the kids I met.
Wasn't the same boy who had the marijuana, was it?
No. You see, once in a while we'd go to a big blast party at somebody's house. Be other kids there. New ones. I met Jerry there.
Jerry, that's the boy's name?
Yeah, Jerry Roth.
How old is he?
19.
Is he hooked?
Yeah,
Was he when you met him?
I guess so.
How'd he spell his last name, son?
Roath.
How'd he turn you on?
We were talking about tea. How the kick wore off. He said there was something else. Something that had a real jolt.
Yeah.
Ah. Boy, it's rough. I'm starting to get cramps.
You better have that cup of coffee now.
I'll get it, Joe.
All right. Feel pretty rough, don't you, son?
Yeah. It's a good thing I'm here. I'd start looking for a connection.
Did you take your first shot of heroin the night you met this Roth kid?
Yeah. We went outside to his car. He had a fit there, and he cooked up a fix. He took one, then I tried it.
What happened?
Never got so sick in my life. Thought I was going to die. Figure what's happened since then might have been a good thing.
How you been supporting your habit?
Only a couple of ways. You steal or you start pushing yourself.
Which way do you go?
Both.
What'd you steal?
Anything I could sell. Never took anything from anybody else, though. All from my own house. Most of the stuff was given to me. Rings, my watch, whatever I could raise a buck on.
What'd you get rid of it?
Around the school. Couldn't go near a pawn shop, but the kids didn't care as long as they got a bargain. Sold my old man's watch for $3. 17 jewels, solid gold, $3.
What were you pushing?
T, H, anything. I'd buy the H and then cut it myself. You don't have to do that many times until you got a couple of extra caps. That took care of me for a while.
Yeah.
Pretty soon there was never enough. Got so as I was always looking forward to the next fix.
When'd you start mainlining it?
I chippied with the stuff for a couple of months. Skin pops. Then that wasn't enough. Started in the arm.
When'd you find out that you were hooked, son? Do you remember?
About a year.
Took a while, huh?
I figured it would never happen. Thought I could beat it. Turn it off when I wanted to. Didn't work out that way.
Didn't you know you had it bad when the charge went up?
Not really. I still thought I could quit when I wanted to. Just never seemed to get that far. Kept putting it off. Guess if I figured I could start the next day, it didn't matter much. Time I decided to quit, I couldn't.
Here's your coffee, John. Brought one for you, too, Joe.
Thanks.
Hot.
Try to get it down. It'll make you feel a little better.
Yeah. Cramps getting worse. You got a doctor here?
Yeah, there's one upstairs.
I better see him. Might be something he can do.
Is your mother at home?
No, she works.
She there now?
What time is it?
9:15.
Be about 10 minutes.
You better give us the number, huh?
Yeah. You're going to call her, huh?
That's right.
Going to tell her about it?
Yeah.
Going to take it pretty hard. I don't think she knows anything about it.
Well, we have to do it.
I guess so. Tell her how there's a cure, though, huh? She's going to be pretty scared.
How do you mean?
She read where only 2% come out of it.
Well, there's less than that who want to be helped. There's a lot less.
Yeah?
Maybe you got a piece of that 2%. 8:57 a.m. The boy was taken up to see the doctor on duty at the receiving hospital. At a couple of minutes after 9, we put in a call to the firm where his mother was employed. We talked to the personnel manager, and he said he'd have Mrs. Coulter call us. A few minutes later, the phone rang, and we talked to the woman. We told her briefly what had happened and asked her to come right over to the office. At 9:25 a.m., the door to the squad room opened, and a tired-looking woman who looked to be in her late 40s or early 50s entered. She identified herself as Nora Calder and asked us what had happened to her son.
He's upstairs right now, Miss Calder. The doctor's looking at him.
You tell me he's been using narcotics.
That's right.
Is that what he says?
Well, he's admitted it to us.
Is he all right?
Well, we think so. He's got an infection on his arm caused by a bad needle.
But it's going to be all right.
That's right.
You have a cigarette, Sergeant?
Yeah. There you are.
Thanks.
Help yourself.
Here's a light.
I guess I should have known it'd be something like this.
Beg your pardon?
I should have known. Had to show up someplace.
I don't think I understand, Miss Calder.
There's a trouble spot in them all, Sergeant, all of them. This is Johnny's. Hope you don't think I'm saying this personal to you. It's just what I've seen in the years I've gone around. Trouble spot in all men.
Did you know your son was using heroin?
No, I didn't have any idea.
Well, according to what he told us, he's been hooked for over a year. You must have noticed something, didn't you?
When you use the word hooked, I'm afraid I don't understand that kind of
Oh,
talk.
I'm sorry. I mean, he's been an addict for that long.
Sergeant, I've been working for a long time. Ever since Johnny's father died. I worked before then. When I get home after standing on my feet all day, I got a few more important things to do than wonder what he's doing. All I can do is just drag myself down to the factory every morning.
Yes, ma'am.
Always something, bills to go over. Decide who's going to have to wait this month, clothes to wash and iron. Time I just get the things done that have to be taken care of. That's all I can do to climb into bed before I pass out.
All right, Miss Calder, we understand.
I wonder if you do.
How's that?
I said I wonder if you do understand. Have you ever raised a boy by yourself?
No, ma'am.
I have. Believe me, it isn't easy. Since 11 years ago, I've been a mother and a father both to Johnny. I always knew there'd be something that'd blow up. I knew it because he's just like his father, exactly like him. I'm 35 years old. 35, and for the past 17 years, I haven't had a minute of happiness.
Yes, ma'am.
Anything we can get for you, Mrs. Calder?
No. Only thing I want is a little happiness. It seems like there just isn't going to be any of that while I'm on this earth. I'm sick, Sergeant. I'm old and I'm sick, and I can't go through any more of this.
Your boy's pretty sick, too.
Yes. I know all about that, too. I read how none of them cures work. Well, they say 2%. There's something else I got to carry.
Might be a little different with John.
I don't see why. No reason for him to be something special. No reason for him to be cured.
Yes, there is. He wants it, Miss Calder.
What's going to happen to him?
We'll file a petition on him.
After that,
Well, we'll have to make an appearance in juvenile court. They'll decide what treatment's going to be best for him.
can I see him?
Yes, ma'am. We can take care of that.
Now?
Frank, you want to see if the doctor's through them?
Yeah.
You have another cigarette, Sergeant.
Yes, here you are. Here's a match.
Thanks, Sergeant.
Sorry. I want to tell you something, Miss Calder. Your son's pretty sick. He's not going to look too good when you see him.
You been hurt?
Not so it shows, but he's going through a great deal of pain. There's going to be a lot more.
For both of us, Sergeant.
Well, I guess you're right at that. Might be better if you remember that he's just a youngster. He's only 17.
I won't forget. He's mine.
All right. He's made a mistake, but he knows it, and he's taken it on himself to try and do something about it.
Tell you something, Sergeant.
All right.
I've had a lot of trouble with Johnny. He was little. He was always running away from home. Time he got to school, he played hooky a couple of times a week. High school, it was the same thing, but that's not the worst of it.
Ma'am?
He's been stealing. From his own mother, he's been stealing.
Yes, ma'am. He told us.
He admitted it?
Yes, he did.
Well, there you are. Not bad enough he's a dope fiend. He's a thief, too. I wasn't sure about the stealing. I just thought so. A few things have been missing around the house, and I'd asked Johnny about him. He'd offer some half-baked story, and now I know. He's a thief. I haven't got enough.
Try to take it easy with the boy.
Take it easy. That's a laugh. All I've done for him, nice home. Not real big or fancy, but it's clean. We've got a kind of closet, sort of, nice and big with a window. Got that all fixed up for Johnny, airplane pictures on the walls. The best I could do. We eat good. Never gone hungry. Lord knows I have, but he hasn't. No reason for him to do a thing like this. No reason at all.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, Mother.
I know all about it, Johnny. These men told me. All the time I've been telling you it'd end up like this. You in trouble with the police. And you just wouldn't listen. You thought you knew better than me. Well, you found out how much you know.
Yeah. I'm sorry about it.
It's a little late for that. How am I going to go home with all the neighbors knowing about what's happened?
I'm sorry.
Well, what's that lot of good that's going to do?
I had you home right now, I'd show you and don't think you're too big for me to do it.
You want to take me upstairs, Mr. Smith?
Yeah.
Just a minute. I got some more things to say to you. Don't you go walking out on me like that.
I don't feel so good. I'd like to be by myself. I'll talk to you later.
You talk to me now. I've got a lot of things I want to tell you, all the trouble you've caused.
I'm sorry. Please, Mr. Smith, it's tough enough.
All right, let's go, son.
You bring him back here. You bring him back. Oh. Well, that's it. Now they're both gone. Now there isn't anybody.
Anything we can get for you, Miss Calder?
Yeah. Get me a reason why this had to happen. Give me one. Do you know one?
Well, I can't be sure.
What do you mean by that?
Just like you said before.
What?
He's your son. We made arrangements for Mrs. Calder to be taken to her home. That night, John Calder was kept at Georgia Street Jail. The next morning, we filed a petition on him. We had one of the doctors at the county hospital talk to Mrs. Calder, and he finally convinced her that her son would get proper treatment at one of the state hospitals, and she signed the necessary papers. For the next 3 days, the boy had it pretty rough. If the novice drug user had the opportunity to witness a patient going through withdrawal pains, the majority of drug traffic would be brought to a halt. Because of the sincerity of the Calder boy, Frank and I spent as much time as we could spare with him while he was going through the symptoms. He complained of violent headaches and stomach cramps, the usual things. He was unable to keep any food down. His eyes watered constantly, and for 72 hours he was in a state of constant violent pain. On the 4th day, he began to recover. He was able to take some warm beef broth and apparently was on his way to being physically well. On Saturday, February 15th, we talked to him at the hospital.
Rough go.
Yeah. You got the worst of it behind you now.
Best thing I've heard for a week. Don't think I could go through any more of it.
Well, you got it made now, John. From here on in, you'll get all the help we can give you.
Well, you guys have done a lot already. A couple of times there, I think I would have gone off my rocker if I hadn't been able to talk to you.
Well, that's what we're here for.
Hey, either one of you got any gum?
Yeah, sure. Here's some.
Jumpy. I gotta do something to calm down. You seen my mother?
She called us yesterday, yeah.
How's she getting along?
A lot better. One of the doctors here at the hospital talked to her. Says she wants to see you.
What's that going to prove? Be the same thing. Her telling me how tired she is, how I'm a goofball.
I don't think so this time. It hasn't been easy for her either, you know.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Well, why don't you give her a chance to make it up? She wants to.
Yeah. I guess there isn't much more I can do.
All right, now there are a couple of things we want to ask you.
What?
We want the men who kept you supplied.
Names?
That's right.
You figure I'll tell you?
Don't you figure you will?
Wrong base. I'm a bum in a lot of ways, but I ain't going to get anybody else in trouble.
You told us about this Jerry Rope, didn't you?
Yeah.
We got a warrant out on him now. Only be a matter of time before we pick him up.
Then let him tell you.
Do you think you got it a little wrong here?
Yeah?
What'd these people do for you?
They're friends.
Check the books. Go over what they've done for you against what you've done for them.
What do you mean?
You're a big boy. Figure it out for yourself. You know, they tell us there's an estimated 25,000 narcotic users right here in Los Angeles, and a big part of them are kids.
Read's good. Figures always help.
I know you remember something else, youngster. You came to us and you asked for help, didn't you? You walked into the office, you said you were in trouble. We're not trying to steal a plea or sound like big men, but when you said you wanted help, we didn't ask you if you could afford it. We didn't care. Now, if these people are such good friends, why didn't you go to them? I'll tell you why you didn't. Because you were scared. You knew what had happened if you walked up to them with empty pockets. You knew they'd spit right in your face. They're your buddy as long as you can pay for it. As soon as you're broke, they never met you, did they? Loyalty's fine. It's a good thing. People could use a lot more of it. But turn it around, son. You've stolen things from your own family to support this habit. Now, how loyal have your friends been when you haven't had the price of a cap? How quick did they come through for you then? You know what it's like in here. You've had it bad. Any of your friends been around to see you? Any of them been willing to hold your head while your insides fell out? Now, we asked you a question. We don't really need the answer from you. We'll pick up the people that did this. We'll reach every one of them, from the mule that sold you that first cap to the guy who's been bringing the stuff right into the country. We just figured you'd like the chance to help out the other 25,000. I guess we had it wrong, didn't we? There's the phone. Put in a call to one of your high-powered friends. See how fast they come through for you now. You don't need us, and we don't need you. Let's go, Frank.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I'll give you the names.
We talked to the boy for another hour and a half. During that time, he gave us as much information as he could on the operation of the narcotics ring. He supplied us with the names, dates, times, and places. However, he could only go so high in the organization. Frank and I went back to the office and we called narcotics detail. We talked to Sergeant Roxy Lucarelli and his partner, Steve Broadhurst. We filled them in on what had happened and gave them a list of the names we had. The roundup of narcotics salesmen started. Inside the next 24-hour period, 14 men and women had been taken into custody. Each one of them was interrogated, but they either didn't know the name of the key man in the operation or they refused to tell it. They were all booked on various sections of the state narcotics code. On Wednesday, February 18th, we received word that Jerry Roth had been picked up in a washroom in Pershing Square. Frank and I went over to the main jail to talk to him.
All right, get it over with.
We want one thing from you, Roth.
Yeah?
The name of the wheel.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Roll up your sleeves, boy.
What for?
Roll them up. Let's see the other one.
They're both the same.
Let's see it. It's marked, John.
What's that proof?
That you're left-handed. When'd you have your last fix?
Who says I use the stuff at all?
Oh, come off it, Roth. We got you and you know it.
I don't see where it says that.
How old are you?
Well, you got the record. Look it up.
You're a big talker, aren't you, son?
I live that way, too.
Well, you're just taking a little drop, kid.
You won't keep me here for more than 12 hours.
Don't make book on that.
Well, I got a lot of friends in this town. They'll get me out.
You keep believing that. We put a hold on you when we came in.
What's that
It
mean?
means you'll be dropped into an ISO cell. Isn't going to be anybody who can talk to you without us knowing about it. Everybody comes near you is going to be checked back to the time they were born.
And what's that going to prove?
We'll get to the wheel.
You talk loud, cop, but I got trouble with my ears.
All right, you sit right with it, kid. You'll be screaming for us to talk with you.
Yeah, sure.
Keep believing it, because I'll give you one thing free.
Yeah?
Next time we're here, it'll be to listen. Jerry Roth was returned to his cell, and Frank and I went back to the investigation. For the next 2 days, we kept a constant check on the suspect. During that time, nobody had attempted to see him or talk to him. Saturday, February 21st, we got back to the office from lunch.
Want to check the book?
Yeah.
Anything?
Yeah, we're supposed to call the main jail.
Roth probably wants to talk.
Well, we might have tried to spring him.
Yeah.
This Friday, juvenile. When? We'll be right over.
Roth?
Yeah.
Want to talk?
Well, maybe we can ask him.
Huh?
They just cut him down. He tried to hang himself. Frank and I left the office and drove over to the jail. The boy had torn his trousers into strips and braided them into a rope. He'd attempted to take his own life. He'd been found on a routine check and had been cut down. The accident had been discovered almost immediately, and by the time we got there, he was almost fully recovered. We talked to him in the interrogation room.
Kind of lousy way out, isn't it, kid?
That looked good at the time.
How's it seem to you now?
I made a mistake.
How do you feel?
Pretty lousy.
You want to give us the name?
What kind of protection do I get?
How do you mean?
Well, if I tell you, I gotta know he ain't gonna get me.
Well, we'll try to build some kind of a wall for you.
You won't know it's me?
No, not from us.
All right. His name's Pollard Zern.
You want to spell that?
Yeah, Z-E-R-N-E.
He the top man?
Yeah, I built the whole thing.
Did he bring this stuff into the country?
Yeah, Sergeant, he's got a boat. He tells people he's going fishing for albacore.
Was he bringing it in from Mexico?
Yeah, I've been with him a couple of times. He lands the boat at a beach down there, makes the contact, and then comes home. Hides the stuff and fish. Got the idea from an old movie. That way, if they look the boat over, chances are they won't find it.
Nice setup, huh?
Yeah, it sure worked good for him.
Yeah.
He made a mint, got a big house, drives a new car, got everything he wants. Just sits back and pulls a handle. Jackpot every time.
No, not this time.
Huh?
He just turned a lemon.
Pollard Harris Zern and the other members of the narcotics gang were tried and convicted of violation of the State Narcotic Act, a felony, and received sentence as prescribed by law. A petition was filed on John Keith Coulter, and he was made a ward of the juvenile court. After treatment, he was pronounced cured and returned to the custody of his mother.
You have just heard Dragnet, the authentic story of your police force in action, and starring Jack Webb, a presentation of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service.
Jerry, come here. I want to... Oh, George, you shouldn't have walked between Jerry and me.
Oh, I'm sorry, fellas.
We'll fix it. Bread and butter, Dan.
Bread and butter.
What goes up in the chimney?
Smoke.
What do you smoke?
Chesterfield.
Right, and that's our bread and butter.
Which means that Chesterfield, the only cigarette in America to give you premium quality in both regular and king size, brings you the Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis Show. Listen, Chesterfield, by Chesterfield regular acting white. See the way the medicine floats. There's possible smoke for all you folks. Round off for Chesterfield. Round off for Chesterfield.
And do it today.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to bring you our master of ceremonies, Dean Martin.
Well, hi there, everybody. Here it is. Time to do our weekly Tuesday night sounding off for Chesterfield. My partner, Jerry Lewis, will be bounding in on the next pogo stick. So while we're waiting for the boisterous little bounder, what do you say we start things humming with a tuneful little earful of music? So, Richard, it is you is or is you ain't my conductor. Is you is all that you ain't my baby. The way you're acting lately makes me down. You is still my baby, baby. Seems my flame in your heart's done gone out. A woman is a creature that has always been seen. Just when you're sure of one that you find she's gone, made a change. Oh, if you is all, if you ain't my baby. Maybe baby found somebody new. Or if you ain't, or if you is my baby. Folks, and right now...
Shut the window, lock the door, they're after me, they're after me.
Oh, that's Jerry Lewis. All right, now, Jerry, you just calling yourself down. Now, who's after you?
The finance company, they want to take back my arm.
Oh, now, wait a minute. What makes you think the finance company wants to take back your arm?
I missed 2 payments on my vaccination.
Oh! You know, Jerry, I find out new things about you every day. I know all about the 6 years we've worked together, but what about your childhood?
Well, when I was born, I was very young. I was nothing years old. And until I was 5 years old, I couldn't see.
Couldn't see?
No, my mother was nearsighted. She kept diapering the wrong end.
I imagine your father must have had some plans for your future. Tell me, Jack, when your father first saw you, what did he want you to be?
Somebody else's son.
Besides that, what business did he want you to go into?
The same thing as my uncle.
You mean your artist uncle, the one who makes the hand-painted matzo balls?
No, Uncle Hesse. He's an inspector in a tiddlywink factory.
civil service job. An inspector in a Tiddlywink factory?
Oh, he was a specialist, you understand. It was his job to decide which would a boy tiddlywink and which would a girl tiddlywink.
You mean there was a way he could tell the difference between the guys and dolls?
Oh, to be sure. As the tiddlies came down the assembly line, my uncle would wink at them.
And the tiddlies that winked back
was the girl.
Yeah, I never thought I'd wind up working with someone who comes from a family of tiddlywinks.
See, Martin, you've insulted my family, and we Lewises don't take these things lightly. We're a proud clan, and I therefore challenge you to a duel. You may choose your own field of honor.
But, Jerry, I don't have any field.
Then we're even. I don't have any honor. Here's my card.
Your card? What's this thing here?
That's the family coat of arms. 2 cross salamis on a field of chopped liver.
Now, look, Jerry, you don't mean a real duel with pistols, do you?
Wait. Do you understand? We shall meet tomorrow morning at dawn. And if I'm not there by 6 o'clock,
Yeah?
start without me.
Yeah, you must be kidding about all this.
Hardly, Mr. Martin. We shall settle this insult in blood. I'm going now.
Where?
To get some.
I'll be seeing you.
What?
I said I'll be seeing you. I'll be seeing you.
In every lovely summer's day.
And everything that's light and gay.
I'll always think of you that way.
I'll find you in the morning sun. And when the night is through,
I'll be looking at the moon.
I'll be seeing Well, friends, you know there's nothing quite so blue as the blues when they're set to music. But when a songwriter stirs up the usual blues and throws in a few sentimental wedding bells for good measure, he's liable to have cooked up one of the season's top-hit blue ballads. And here it is. I went to your wedding. Although I was dreading the thought of losing you, the organ was playing, my poor heart kept saying, your dreams. Mr. Lewis.
As you recall, you have insulted my family, and I challenge you to a duel. However, we'll have to call off the duel because of something I just found out.
What is that?
I'm a coward.
Well, it's just as well we called it off, Sheriff. If we didn't, we might have been arrested. After all, we have laws in this country. And tonight, I've invited as our guest a star who is a staunch supporter of law enforcement on his own shows. Dynamic young personality of radio and TV, the star of Dragnet, Jack Webb. Jerry, this is Jack Webb from Dragnet TV.
Well, how do you do? I'm Jerry Lewis from Newark, NJ.
No, Jerry, I'm from the television show, Dragnet.
Oh, I saw you last week on a new set Dean gave me for Christmas.
Jerry, that wasn't a TV set I gave you. It was a washing machine.
No wonder the cops and robbers were chasing each other in their underwear.
I'm sorry you missed the real thing, Jerry. It was the story of a policeman who guarded the catch of the fishing fleet.
Yeah, it was called the Cape Cod Kipper Keeper Cooper Caper.
The Cape Cod Kipper Keeper Cooper Caper?
You heard him, Jerry. The Cape Cod Kipper Keeper Cooper Caper.
Now, the villain was a camper named Cooper who worked in a bottle factory. First as a corker, then as a capper. Yeah, you see, the fishing boat was a clipper, and the thief was killed in the church steeple. There was a big bell up there, and he was clobbered by the clapper.
Oh, the Cape Cod Clipper.
What, Jerry?
We couldn't get Sam's pay?
No. I invited you here to see if you could help me. After all, we have something in common. Our sponsor.
Yeah, that's right, Dean. On Dragnet, I work for Chesterfield, and on your show, you work for Chesterfield.
That's right, Jerry. We're both working for Chesterfield.
Sometimes I wish we were working for money.
Now, Jack, here's my problem. Jerry tells me to a duel, and, well, I'd sure hate to put a bullet between his eyes.
Well, that's impossible, Dean. Between his eyes, there ain't room for a bullet.
That's because I have a very skinny head.
Yeah. Jerry, look, we have laws against dueling, same as we have laws against speeding. A car can be a very dangerous weapon.
I'll say, yesterday I was crossing the street when I saw a car coming at me. I ran up 3 flights of stairs into my apartment, rushed into the closet, and locked the door.
What happened?
He got me anyway.
A thing like that calls for at least a ticket.
He did. I paid a $10 fine.
You paid a fine for what?
Running without a license.
That's terrible, Jerry. What happened to the driver of the car that hit you?
Nothing, Ian, but he won't get away.
Well, you mean you got his number?
No, but I'll never forget his laugh.
You'll never forget his laugh.
Pardon me, sir. Would you do that again?
Certainly.
Mr. Webb, would you please get your car out of my closet?
Stop it, Jerry. If anyone looked out for public safety, it's Jack Webb. Millions of people listen to and watch his show every week.
Well, thanks, Dean, but it's the kids I'd like to reach. Unfortunately, most of them are only interested in fairy tales.
Well, tonight, why don't you do a fairy tale as you would do it on your Dragnet show?
Well, that's swell. I'd like to, but I'm not prepared.
We are. Benjamin, come here, you old round dog.
The Chesterfield's much milder players bring you king-size Dean Martin and Jack Webb with regular-size Jerry Lewis. In a hastily rehearsed play about the 3 bears, our version of Dragnet concerns a blonde moll called Goldilocks, who woke up with not one curl of her golden tresses out of place. And it's entitled Hairnet. This is the city. There's nothing around here but chipmunks, rabbits, trees, forests. This is the city. My name's Friday. I'm a cop. I wear yellow shoes, an Argyle beret, a plaid coat with satin lapels. I'm a plainclothesman.
Friday's younger brother. My name is Thursday. I'm a cop, too. All day long, I pound the beat. I make my own board.
I'm Friday's older brother. My name is a week from Tuesday. I'm a special agent for the Crime Commission. For every crime, I get a 10% commission.
Hello, Homicide. Thursday speaking. No, Saturday and Sunday are gone for the weekend. What's that? I'll get the police microphone. Calling all cars, calling all cars, calling car 84, Officer Farmkist. Wipe your windshield. Someone is stealing your radiator cap. That is all.
Morning, Third.
Hi, Fry.
Anything new in the Three Bears case? They found out who tasted the little bear's porridge yet and made it all gone?
No, but I brought in our chief suspect, Goldilocks. I talked to her alone for an hour.
Does she know anything?
She does now.
Hi, Fry. Hi, Thurs.
Hi, week from June.
I just found a body out in the street.
Good. You may keep it for your honor.
But it was Goldilocks.
Goldilocks?
Yeah, she was found wearing a derby and slacks.
Well, at least she died like a man.
Here's the hospital report on Father Bear. He's dead. They just performed the autopsy.
What'd he die from?
The autopsy.
Hello? Homicide, Friday speaking. No, hi, Wednesday. Okay. Mama Bear's been murdered, too. She was pushed into a freezing bath at the popsicle factory.
Look, a report's coming in on the teletype. It's about the baby bear. It happened again.
You mean somebody tasted his porridge?
Worse than that. Somebody pinched his feet.
Sounds like the work of a Maroon gang. Let's go to the bear's house and investigate.
So we climbed into the car, and I got behind the wheel. I knew we were heading for trouble. I can't drive. It was really very foggy, so I followed the white line on the road. I drove for 20 miles, and then I found out what I was following wasn't a white line. It was a good humor truck with its vanilla leaking.
When we got to the bear's house, I peeked through the keyhole with one eye. I saw something very strange with my other eye. While I was peeking, someone wrapped the door around my head. In here, Furs, and week from. This is where the bears live.
How do you know this is the place where the bears live?
Look what's on the floor, a people skin rug.
And there's a little baby bear. He's been murdered.
Yeah. His body's in a strange position. His back is arched and his legs are sticking up in the air. How do you figure it, Thurs?
Obvious. He was beaten to death with a contour chair.
Wait a minute. Are we sure this is the baby bear? There was something strange about the corpse. I checked the bear's fur more closely. It wasn't a bear at all. It was a mink-dyed halibut. I thought I smelled something fishy. Yeah, well, the killer must still be here. The body's still warm.
It should be. It's on the stove.
For a moment, I thought I had it. I'll tell you what. You examine the body for a bullet and then check with ballistics.
What's ballistic?
Well, I don't know, but on Dragnet we always say that.
Oh.
I'll search the closets for the killer. Nobody there. Nobody there. Nobody there.
I know, but there were no more jokes left in the house, so we decided to search the barn.
It's awful dark in this barn.
Well, hold my hand, sirs.
Okay, Fry. Hey, Fry. Fry, where are you?
I'm over here.
And whose fingers am I holding?
Hey, I think I got the killer here.
I'll shoot. Don't shoot, I'll confess.
Who are you?
My name's Cooper.
Oh, you're the camper from the Cape Cod Kipper Keeper Cooper Caper.
Yeah, the fellow who works in the bottle factory as a clerker and the capper. No, I used to. Now I work in a rug factory as a carpet clipper.
Carpet Clipper? I'm letting you go.
You're letting the killer go? Why?
It's easier than having to say this is the Cape Cod Camper Cooper Corker Capper Capper Carpet Clipper Keeper Capper Cooper Caper Carpet.
You did a swell job. You can sing for me anytime.
Thanks, Jack, and you can guess for us any time, too. How about that, Jerry?
Splendid, old chap, splendid.
Say, look, how about you boys having lunch with me sometime?
Love to.
Not me. I went to a restaurant today, ate a businessman's lunch, and was thrown out.
You were thrown out for eating a businessman's lunch? Why?
The businessman wanted to eat it himself.
Look, Jack, I know you've got to be coming along now, but don't forget your job, you know. Get him.
Yes, sir. Get everybody to change to Chesterfield. Friends, Dean, Jerry, and I wouldn't ask you to try Chesterfield if we didn't know Chesterfield is best for you.
That's because they're first to give you scientific evidence on the effects of smoking.
And that's because only Chesterfield gives you premium quality in both regular and king size.
That's right, folks. Chesterfield is best for you. Regular or king size. They give you all the pleasure the modern cigarette can give.
So your job, get 'em. Get Chesterfield today.
Well, so long, boys. It was swell being here. Good night.
Good night, Jack, and thank you so much. Jack Webb.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned a robbery detail. A wholesale drug company has been held up. $4,000 in narcotics has been taken. Your job? Find it.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Tuesday, July 10th. It was hot in Los Angeles. We were working the night watch out of robbery detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Chief of Detectives Thad Brown. My name's Friday. We were on our way out from the office, and it was 10:51 p.m. when we got to Highland Park Division, the coffee room.
Joe, Frank, over here.
Hi, Luke.
Hi, Roxy. Want a cup of coffee?
Yes,
I'll
sounds
get it,
good.
Joe.
Okay. How's it going, Luke?
Pretty good, kind of hot.
Yeah.
Makes me wish I'd built that patio out of our place.
Yeah,
You got a dime and change, Joe?
Yeah, wait a minute. Here you go.
Thanks.
That was a half, you know. Bring me some change.
Don't worry. Wait a minute. You want to take one of these cups, Joe?
Yeah, I got it.
How about you? You want some more, Luke?
No, thanks.
Okay. Well, what do you got for us, Luke?
I gave you the call as soon as we got it. The way it bills is that a patrolman picked him up over on Monte Vista.
Uh-huh.
Spotted him in a parked car. Checked on it and found the guy was pretty sick. First he thought it might be a 502, but after he got a good look, figured it was a heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
Fellow was out cold, couldn't tell anything.
Uh-huh.
They called an ambulance and took the guy over to Lincoln Heights Receiving, gave him treatment there. Checking it out, they found several puncture marks on his arm. Thought he might be a diabetic.
Mm-hmm.
His appearance was shock. Checked on his personal effects and came up with this.
Mm-hmm. Drug vial.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see, Joe.
Oh, yeah, here you go.
The label's all cut up, but there's enough left to tell the serial numbers.
Yeah.
One of the vials taken from Arnold's.
Morphine.
That's right.
What's his name?
Norman Curie.
What's he got on him?
Not much. According to R&I, he's been picked up a couple of times for marks.
Has he said anything to you?
Not much. He's feeling pretty rocky. Still coming out of it. I haven't been able to get anything out of him.
What's he say about the vial?
Nothing. Acts like a war prisoner. All he says is his name, gives his address.
So check out.
A couple of guys over there now.
Hmm.
Figures you want a piece of it, might be able to get something out of it.
Oh, I don't know. No reason for us to make it if you guys didn't.
Well, maybe. Might give it a try.
Okay. Finished?
Yeah. Here, I'll take the cups.
Okay. I have the change from that half.
Wait a minute, buddy. I'll give it to you on the way back.
All right. All right, let's go.
Okay. You want to check your gun?
Yeah. You want to give us a check for these, please?
Oh, yeah.
Has anybody talked to Curie?
Not that I know of. He hadn't made any calls. No one's been here to see him.
Mm-hmm.
The morphine vial, the only thing he had on him?
Yeah. Turned his pockets, but it's all we could find. Fellows might do better in his room.
It'll be a real break if it ends right here, won't it?
That's for sure.
Here you go. Number 6 is a belly gun.
All right, thank you. No, that's mine. Here's yours, Frank.
Okay. Here's your change.
All right, thank you. Anything on the car he was in?
No. The officer that picked him up went over it, but they didn't turn in anything.
Is he the registered owner?
Yeah.
You want to talk to Curie again, huh?
That's right.
How long is he going to be here?
We'll take him downtown in the morning.
Right. I'll be out front when you're ready to leave.
Okay, good.
You back again?
That's right.
Brought some help, huh?
Want to ask you some questions, fella.
My name's Norman Curie. I live at 9672 Farnham Street.
Yeah, I've heard.
Then you've had it for me. I'm not giving you the time till I talk to a lawyer.
Where'd you get the morphine vial?
My name's Norman Curie. I live
All right,
at
we've been through all that.
9672 Farnham Street.
Look, you're in for a lot more than a narco charge.
From where you sit?
No matter how you see it. You got trouble, Curie.
Go ahead, cop. I like stories.
You're not doing yourself any good with this routine.
You're not doing me any harm. I don't have to talk to you. Nothing in the book says I got to give you fresh air. Now, all of you, get off my back. You come in here and try to nail anything more than narcotics on me, the guys in the coffee room will laugh you right out of the station. Once around, I'll give it to you again. My name's Norman Curie, and I live at 9672 Farnham Street, and that's it.
You're giving us no more.
You've had it.
All right, let's go.
How long are you going to hold me here?
You'll be moved in the morning.
When do I call a lawyer?
I'll leave word out front.
Thanks.
Here. Jim, want to unlock it?
You guys understand, huh?
What?
Hope you ain't sorry about what I said, just that there isn't anything I can give you.
Yeah, sure.
Just that nobody likes to be shoved around. Gets to the point where everybody's on your back. A guy don't like it.
Yeah.
Might not look like it, fella, but I ain't trying to be a big man.
Well, I wouldn't worry about it.
Huh?
You're not. The following morning, the suspect was removed to the main jail and booked in on suspicion of violation of the State Narcotics Act, a felony. He was photographed and fingerprinted. The combined efforts of the Narcotics Division and Robbery Detail had been devoted to the apprehension of the thieves who'd stolen the drugs. The arrest of Curie had been the first lead we'd gotten to the disposition of the stolen merchandise, but without his cooperation, there was little chance that we could get to the ringleaders. The next day, Frank and I checked with informants who might be able to supply us with any information. All of Curie's known associates were interrogated. None of them helped us. We got word that Curie had been released on bail at noon. Narcotics Division had assigned officers to follow him, and all of his actions were being observed. Everyone he met was being checked on. 5:10 p.m., Wednesday afternoon. We got back to the city hall from a meeting with Captain Carl Shy of Narcotics.
I'll get the log we can check out.
Yeah, it's been a long day, hasn't it?
Yeah, you can say that again. A lot of walking. You want to check the book?
Yeah.
Anything?
Wait a minute. Yeah, Skipper wants to see us. He's in Thad Brown's office.
Yeah?
Friday?
Curie? What do you want?
I got something for you.
All right.
All right if I sit down?
Sure, go ahead.
It's a lousy deal, Friday, lousy.
It is.
Worst. Sit in the can trying to figure out some way to keep them clean. They pull a stunt like this on me.
What are you talking about?
Well, you took the supply away from me last night. I had to make another connection this morning. As soon as I got out, I went over to see him. He treated me like I just got into town. Lousy. Ain't worth it. If you're going to act like that, it's going to cost him.
That so?
Yeah, you better call that Lucarelli. Is that his name?
That's right.
Yeah, get him over here. He's going to want to hear it, too.
Hear what?
I'm going to give you a chapter and verse on the whole deal.
Frank put in a call to Narcotics Division and asked Sergeant Roxy Lucarelli to come over to the office. It took him less than 5 minutes to get there. In the meantime, we briefly questioned Curie and found that he wanted to cooperate fully in the apprehension of the gang. When Roxy got there, we started to get the full story.
All right, what can you tell us about the robbery?
Nothing. I didn't have any part of it.
Where'd you get the M?
Picked it up in the bar.
You got the address?
Yeah, place down on 5th.
Who's your connection?
Guy named Corbett.
Got a first name for him?
Olin.
How's that go? O-L-A-N?
Yeah, I guess so.
When'd you make the buy?
Yesterday afternoon.
The whole vial?
Yeah.
Did you scratch up the label?
No, it was that way when I got it.
Did you know the stuff was stolen?
I put it down that I didn't ask for an original bill of sale.
What about this Corbett? What do you know about him?
Been hanging around the place a long time. I see him there all the time.
Ever been in trouble?
You mean with the cops?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess he's been picked up a couple of times for possession.
You ever done any time?
A couple of months in the county jail.
Probation?
I think so. I never got in a big conversation with him about it.
You know where he got this stuff?
I can't pin it down for you.
Got an idea?
Well, it must be the bar. A lot of places there you can get connection.
You know who it could have been?
No.
Anybody around there got a lot of money that they can't explain?
Well, most of the customers will fit that.
You want to give us a description of this Corbett?
What's that for?
I'd like to check his record.
Oh. Well, let's see. I think he's about 45, maybe 46. Around in there someplace.
Yeah.
Guess he's about 160 pounds. 5'9", I think.
Go ahead.
Well, he's got kind of dark hair. Gray, in here. Around the temples.
Yeah.
Like that.
Anything else about him?
Well, he's got a kind of limp. One leg is shorter than the other.
You know which leg it is?
No, I never paid any attention to it.
Ring any bells for you, Rox?
It might be. I think I know what he's talking about. I'll check R&I, Joe.
Fine. How about it, Curie? You know if any more of the stuff has been passed?
Well, I can't say for sure. This is the first bunch of it I bought. Guess there's some more of it that's been pushed. Well, it sure jolted me. I'm not used to that drugstore stuff.
You know anybody that's bought?
No.
How come the stuff you got wasn't cut?
I don't know. I guess somebody goofed. Sure made me sick.
What happened when you went back there today?
Well, I walked into the place. I figured to get something up. You'd have thought I was a cop.
All right.
There wasn't anybody in the place that had anything to do with me.
Was Corbett there?
You mean this morning?
Yeah.
No, but at least I didn't see him.
Hold on a minute. Robbery, Friday. In just a minute. Murphy? No, he's not here. Can I take a message? All right. I have it. I'll have him call as soon as he gets in. You bet. Did you hear anything about the robbery?
No, I didn't. A couple of small-type rumbles out, but nothing you can pin down.
What'd they say?
Just that there was a heist, no names used.
Anything on who's responsible?
I told you it was just a small rumble.
What do you figure about it?
Huh?
You got any ideas who might have done it?
Well, nothing you can take to court. I give you pretty short odds on Corbett, though.
You got any close friends around the place?
Oh, he knows everybody there.
You spend more time with anybody special?
No, he usually just comes in and sits around.
You got a job?
Not so it shows.
Where does he live?
He never told me.
Why'd you come in here, Curie?
Huh?
What are you trying to build with us?
Nothing. I just got real hacked this morning with the way those guys shoved me around. I want to see them get what they got coming.
You don't want nothing for yourself?
Just to see them get paid.
You got any ideas how we can do that?
Yeah.
All right, we're waiting.
Let me nail them for you.
Spell it out.
Look, you can't get within 10 feet of them. The whole bar's hinky. Now, let me go in and get them.
We can't give you anything for it.
I'm not asking for anything. You just let me go along with you guys. Let me go in and blow the whistle on those guys who pull the heist.
Doesn't make a lot of sense, Curie. You coming in here and wanting to help us. There's got to be something behind it.
And what's it going to cost you to find out? You're going to have a tail on me from the time I walk out of here. It's not going to do you any harm to let me go.
You're laying yourself right in the middle of the tracks, you know.
I know that, but it's worth it to see the expression on their faces when you kick the door in.
All right, we'll have to check it with the skipper.
Well, you go ahead. Guys, play it any way you want. Don't make a pound of me. If you want me on your side, I'm there.
What happens if they find out?
Send roses.
All right, Curie, we'll buy a piece of it. But I'm going to give you something going in.
What's that?
There'll be a lot of men working on this. If one of them gets in trouble over you, you better start running, because there isn't going to be a big enough handicap for you.
I'm not asking for one, am I?
If it works out, you'll get a piece of the credit. It'll go in the books that way, and that's all.
Well, it doesn't matter to me at all. All I want to see is for those guys to get theirs.
All right.
Well, this time I thought they were friends of mine, and they turn around and pull a stunt like this. It's pretty lousy. All I want is a connection. They got the stuff that isn't going to cost them anything.
No, you got it wrong there, fella.
Huh?
It's going to cost them. Frank came back from R&I with the information that the suspect, Olin Corbett, had a long record in Los Angeles, listing arrests for narcotics, suspicion of burglary, suspicion of robbery, and ADW. While Curie waited in the squad room, Lucarelli, Frank, and I talked with Captain Donahoe. We filled him in on what had happened. It was decided to accept Curie's offer of help. The next morning, Thursday, July 12th, we started the operation. An effort was made to find Olin Corbett without result. In order to make sure of the safety of our informant, it was arranged for an officer from Narcotics Division to be planted in the bar. One of the younger officers was chosen for the job, and at 10:05 a.m. he took up his position in the place. At 10:34 a.m., Frank and I, along with Lucarelli and Curie, got there. We parked down the street and let our contact out of the car. He walked down the block and entered the bar. 10 minutes later, he hurried back.
Looks like something's wrong.
Yeah.
You want to open the door, Frank?
Yes.
What are you guys trying to pull?
What are you talking about?
You ain't much better than they are. A lousy thing all the way around. One thing I figured sure was I'd be able to trust
All right,
you
now
guys.
calm down, Curie, and tell us
What'd
what's
you
wrong.
plant the cop for in there?
What?
Cop in the bar. Why's he there?
What happened?
Everybody knows who he is. There isn't anything going on. What's the matter? Don't you trust me? Is that it?
We wanted to make sure you'd be able to walk out of the place, that's all.
Well, it didn't work out that way. Guys in there playing for keeps. The whole place is wide for sound.
All right. And we've got to go after him a different way.
Gonna have to do it without me. After today, I don't dare go into the place. They all figure I brought the fuzz in.
You won't have to go back.
Well, thanks a lot. Well, it sure goes to show you.
What's that?
Play footsie with the cops, you're bound to get burned.
We appreciate what you did.
Well, a lot of good that does. The word gets out, I'm in big trouble. As soon as those guys find out I've been going with you, I've had it. Give me one good reason why you had to put the cop in there. What kind of insurance is that?
Yours.
Huh?
We're trying to keep you alive. We went back to the office and talked with Captain Donahoe. We told him what had happened. After conversations with Chief of Detectives Thad Brown and Captain Carl Shy, it was decided that the bar on 5th Street was important enough to warrant a 24-hour stakeout. The crime lab was contacted, and we asked their aid in arranging the surveillance. Lieutenant Lee Jones suggested a camera mounted in a delivery truck. We got in touch with one of the larger truck rental services in the city, and we got permission to use their equipment. It was decided that a panel truck parked a short distance from the bar could be used to observe both the front and rear entrances. A small slot was cut in the side of the truck so that a 16-millimeter camera could be used. Frank and I spent an hour with Lieutenant Jones going over the workings of the camera. The following morning, we took up our positions outside the bar. For the next 12 hours, we took pictures of everybody entering and leaving the place. Men from Narcotics Division relieved us during the nighttime hours. For 3 days, the surveillance continued without result. Hundreds of feet of film were exposed and processed. Still, we were no closer to apprehending the suspects. During this time, we hadn't seen Olin Corbett, the man who'd sold the morphine to Curie. Thursday morning, July 17th, Frank and I took up our positions in the truck.
You checked the camera this morning?
No. Luke said we probably have to put in a new film magazine, didn't he?
Yeah, I'd better take care of it. You know how to do this?
Well, you were there when Lee explained it, weren't you?
Yeah, but I kind of forgot.
Well, that's good. Then I better know how, huh?
Yeah. Here's the film.
All right, let me take a look. Nothing to it. You just follow these lines here.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
You want to throw that little catch there? No. This one. This one.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Does it go under that thing?
You undo it?
No, go ahead, Joe. I think you're supposed to turn that little gizmo there, that one, to make sure you're threaded up all right.
No, you're wrong.
The little knob right over there.
No, you were wrong.
Aren't you going to turn it?
I'm going to turn it as soon as I get this threaded up. If you turn it now, you tear the film.
Yeah, but you're supposed to turn it.
We turn it after we thread it up.
Oh.
All right.
Well, I remember that you turned it.
You know you're a big help to me, Frank.
Yeah. Boy, it's going to be another hot one.
It's hot in this truck, too.
Yeah. Had Faye pack a different lunch today.
Mm-hmm.
Chopped egg sandwiches and potato salad.
Mm-hmm.
Want one?
A little early, don't you think?
Oh, might be. Figured you might be a little hungry, though.
No, not right now. Frank.
Yeah.
Want to switch on the camera?
Huh? Got something?
Come here, take a look. No, up this way. See him come up the street?
No, where?
Right there, see?
Huh?
Just passing the bakery there.
Oh, yeah.
That looks like Corbett to me.
Yeah.
All right. He's going into the bar.
Yeah, first time we've seen him.
Mm-hmm.
Alone.
You better call Luke. Have him put a tail on the guy when he leaves.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Huh?
Corbett's coming out the side door.
Yeah, he's going back to that Cadillac.
You see that corporal in the alley?
No, it must have been while we were loading the cameras.
Well,
Hey, wait a minute. There's a woman behind the wheel.
Oh, she's getting out. You getting everything there?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, you're not now. Why'd you stop?
Well, I just took my thumb off for a minute. I'll start it again.
Looks like she's giving Corbett something.
Yeah, small package.
We better have him picked up and see what it is.
As soon as he leaves, I'll get in touch with Lou.
Okay, cut the camera. That's enough. You better get on it. He's shoving off. Car's leaving, too.
You want to get the license number?
Yeah. It's 2 Victor, 22876. Might be a break.
Yeah.
At least we know one thing.
Huh?
We got a contact.
You are listening to Dragnet, the authentic story of your police force in action.
We got in touch with the narcotics office and made arrangements for Corbett to be taken into custody. The arrest itself was made in such a way as to appear routine. A check of DMV gave us the name of the owner of the black Cadillac that we'd seen behind the bar. The car was registered to a Mrs. Beulah Pringle, 5742 Los Feliz Boulevard, legal the same. We ran the name through R&I, but we found no criminal record for her. The pictures we'd taken were processed and shown to the witnesses of the warehouse robbery. 2 of them positively identified Corbett as the lookout man on the job. Frank and I, along with Roxy Lucarelli, talked to him at the main jail, but he refused to give us any information regarding the holdup. He was booked on charges of robbery. For the next week, a constant surveillance was kept on the Pringle woman. All of the people she came into contact with were checked on. We made several attempts to search her home, but there was always somebody there. On Tuesday, July 24th, a week after we'd first observed her, she was seen at the bar again. This time, she passed a small package to one of the regulars of the place. He was taken into custody and found to have had a large quantity of pure morphine in his possession, but he refused to say where he'd gotten it. Without finding the cache of narcotics, there was little reason to take the woman into custody. On Wednesday, July 25th, we got word that she left her home. Frank and I drove out there and succeeded in making a complete search of the place, but we found nothing. A check of her car turned up none of the stolen narcotics. The surveillance continued. Another week passed. Wednesday, August 1st, she again made a meet and turned over a package of narcotics which we believed to have been taken in the robbery. After talking to the man we'd picked up, Frank and I met in the squad room.
He isn't going to give us anything.
No. Well, we'll talk to the DA's office in the morning, see what we can do.
There's got to be something about the Pringle woman that'll tell us where the narcotics are.
Well, you've been over all the information. Have you spotted anything?
No, but she's got to pick it up someplace.
Where?
I don't know. You got the list of places she goes to?
Yeah, in my locker. You want to get them? I'll check the book.
Yeah. Where are they, Joe?
Top shelf there. Should be on the left side.
Huh?
Top shelf on the left side, right in front of you there.
Oh, yeah, here I got it. Anything on the book for us?
No.
Okay, let's go over these again.
All right. Here's a report from Roxy.
Mm-hmm.
This woman's got regular appointments at the beauty shop. She has her hair fixed on Thursdays.
It's her car service at the corner of Salmon Harbor.
Name of the market where she gets her groceries, her bank, the kid who delivers the morning paper. They've all been checked out.
What about a boyfriend?
Checked him way back. There's nothing there.
You know anything about her kids?
2 boys by a former marriage.
Uh-huh.
One's 10, the other's 12. They stay at the school in the valley. Address is on the report there.
Oh, yeah, here. Sees the kid about every week.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can say she's an attentive mother.
Well, maybe she's got another reason.
What do you mean?
A couple of days after she sees the kid, she makes a drop.
Yeah.
That's the way it looks, doesn't it, here?
Yeah.
Maybe she's got something besides kids over at that school. Frank and I made arrangements to search the room occupied by the Pringle youngsters. We drove out to the valley and talked with the head of the school. Without telling him what we were looking for, Frank and I got into the room and began to go over it. Anything in the closet?
Now, wait a minute. A couple of suitcases here. Looks like they're full of clothes.
Nothing in these drawers.
Hold it a minute, Joe.
Hmm?
The suitcase here looks like a makeup kit.
What's in it?
Oh, I can't tell. It's locked.
Let's see it.
What? Take a look.
Uh-huh.
You got anything I can use to open the case?
I'll try this.
Okay. Well, that does it.
Yeah.
Take a look.
Mm-hmm.
Want to take it back to town?
You better and have the serial numbers checked.
Not much doubt, huh?
No, just about wraps it up, doesn't it? Let's bring the Pringle woman in and talk to her, see what she can come up with on this.
The way Roxy puts it, she's a pretty good talker.
It's going to have to be, isn't she? Frank and I left the school and drove back to the Los Feliz address. The black Cadillac was parked in the driveway. We told the maid who answered the door who we were and what we wanted. She showed us into the library of the house and asked us to wait while she went to get Mrs. Pringle.
It's quite a pad, huh, Joe?
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Fay's been after me to get one of these.
What's that?
See? One of these three-dimensional viewers. You know, got little pictures in them. Fay says they're great for the kids.
Yeah.
Got all kind of pictures. Yosemite, Yellowstone. Pretty interesting. All in 3D, too.
Gentlemen, something you want to see me about?
We're police officers, Miss Pringle. Frank Smith. My name's Friday.
Yes, I know. What was it you wanted to see me about?
You know a man named Olin Corbett?
Corbett? No, I don't think so.
How about Peter Ulrich?
Nothing there either. You mind telling me what this is all about?
Why, that you know as well as we do, don't you?
This is some kind of a joke. I'm afraid I can't go along with it.
No, ma'am, it's no joke.
You're trying to say something. Why not stop going in circles and come right to the point?
All right. You're under arrest, Miss Pringle.
For what?
Robbery and narcotics.
Would you like to sit down?
No, thank you.
No.
Anything I can get for you? Drink, maybe?
No.
You must have some kind of evidence to make a charge like this.
We have.
You mind telling me what it is?
We've got motion pictures of you meeting the men that I mentioned. Pictures of you passing the narcotics to them. We checked your children's school. We found that makeup kit.
Not much doubt, then, is there?
No, ma'am.
Nothing I can do?
No. Get your coat.
I guess so.
Miss Pringle.
What?
This house and the car. You mind telling me why you went into a thing like this?
I guess it'd sound pretty silly to you. Right now, it's pretty well to me.
We'll listen if you want to tell us.
I divorced my husband several years ago, Mr. Smith. I got a good settlement, a lot of alimony. Gave me just about everything I wanted. Maybe it gave me too much. I didn't have anything to look forward to, nothing to act as a sort of challenge. You understand?
I guess so.
I met a man, nice enough guy. One thing led to another, and he suggested the robbery. Sounded like something to do, something so I wouldn't be bored anymore. That's why we did it. It wasn't the money with me. I guess it was with him.
You want to give us the name?
Yeah. Might as well. It's all finished now anyway.
All right. You want to get that coat now?
Yeah. How long will they send me to prison for?
Well, we wouldn't know. That's up to the judge.
I hear the place is a lot better than they used to be. Lots of things to do. Jobs so you can keep your mind occupied.
That's right. And you can be sure of one thing.
What's that?
You won't be bored.
The story you have just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On December 18th, trial was held in Department 97, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. In a moment, the results of that trial. Norman Gerald Keary was tried and convicted of violation of the State Narcotic Act, a felony, 1 count. Olin Lambert Corbett, Beulah Valerie Pringle, and Peter Larson Ulrich were tried and found guilty of robbery in the first degree and violation of the State Narcotics Act, a felony. Robbery in the first degree is punishable by imprisonment in the state penitentiary for a period of not less than 5 years. Violation of the State Narcotic Act, a felony, is punishable by imprisonment for a period of from 5 years to life in the state penitentiary. You have just heard Dragnet, a series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice comes from the Office of Chief of Police W.H. Parker, Los Angeles Police Department.
My name's Regan. I work for Anthony J. Lyon, Detective Bureau. They call me the Lion's Eye.
Sunday at 8:30, and CBS brings you Jeff Regan, Investigator, starring Frank Graham as Regan, with Frank Nelson as Anthony J. Lyon. So stand by for mystery, suspense, and adventure in tonight's transcribed story titled, There's Nothing Like a Pork Chop When Supper Rolls Around.
It took a heap of threatening notes to make Buddy Huckle afraid, and we had plenty of threatening notes in this one. Individual words cut from poems and pasted on plain white paper to create a message of death. If you enjoy poetry, you hate Huckle, and everyone connected with this case enjoyed poetry. Maybe it has something to do with the dictaphone that wound up telling too much and a leggy blonde that told too little. It was 3 p.m. when I checked in with my boss, the Lion, at the Detective Bureau. Somehow he looked different.
Jeffrey, my boy.
Then I saw he was wearing a flowing black tie.
Listen to this, Jeffrey.
Where's your cape, Fatso?
Listen. Listen to the exhortation of the dawn. Look to this day, for it is life, the very life of life. In its brief course lie all...
Poetry. You, Lion?
Well, just because you have no appreciation of the finer things in life, Jeffrey, doesn't mean that
Whose poetry?
Well, mine, of course.
You, the head of a detective agency, writing poetry?
A man who appreciates the beauty of the universe, the richness of living...
What's in it for you?
What do you mean by that snide remark?
What do you get out of writing this poetry?
I reap calm, peace, my boy.
How much money?
Now look here, Jeffrey.
How much?
$10,000 if I win.
Win what?
Well, our new client told me about the contest, my boy. There's a $10,000 prize for the poem, which, in the opinion of the judges...
I thought. Okay, Lion, who's the new client?
Buddy Huckle, the poet, America's Bard Laureate.
What's Hucklebuck's trouble?
No, Buddy Huckle. It seems someone is trying to intimidate him, keep him from creating more poetry.
Where do I find this bard?
At his office.
Office?
Well, he has to work someplace. Now, you get right down to this address and do what you
can.
Did
he, pay you?
There was a check for $200. Buddy Huckle is solvent.
Well, for an artist, that's suspicious.
You do a good job, my boy, and the Lion Detective Agency might turn up in his memoirs.
If I expected to find Buddy Huckle writing poetry in a hidden nook, I was in for a surprise. His office was on the Miracle Mile, brand new building, all glass and angles and curves. I checked the address the Lion had given me just to make sure. This was it. I squeezed into the Lucite elevator with salesmen, briefcases, secretaries, and a temperature of 110. Up in his office, there was a small desk and a little man behind it, maybe 50, with a pink seamless face and short white hair like popcorn glued to a billiard ball.
May I help you, sir?
You're Buddy Huckle?
Just a moment while I staple these poems.
My name's Regan. I'm from the Lion Detective Bureau.
Oh, yes. Mr. Huckle told me you were coming. Won't you sit down? I purchased that chair from the estate of H.W. Longfellow.
Where is Mr. Huckle?
Just a moment while I...
use the stapler.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Mr. Huckle now. Yes, sir, Mr. Huckle?
Come in here, Laszlo.
Yes, sir, Mr. Huckle.
Running behind schedule today.
Coming, Mr. Huckle.
The little man grabbed the stack of stapled poems and made for the inner office, his arms and legs working like a crab's. When he disappeared into the inner office, I took a look around. Hung on the wall was a certificate of merit from the Amalgamated Advertising Agencies of America, made out to Buddy Huckle. It read, in gold leaf, "Your poems move merchandise." There was a stack of magazines on Laszlo's desk. I reached for one and was about to open it when Laszlo reappeared from the inner office.
Yeah. Such a busy day.
When can I see the poet?
Oh, soon. Oh, you disturbed my stapler.
I must have done that when I picked up this magazine.
Yes, a wonderful magazine. Mr. Huckle contributes to it regularly.
Uh-huh. Folk stuff.
Yes. Oh, Mr. Huckle again. Yes, sir?
Send Regan in, Laszlo.
Yes, Mr. Huckle.
I may go right in.
Why, yes, but don't take too much of Mr. Huckle's time. He's a very busy man.
I found Buddy Huckle seated behind a bluish cast aluminum desk. Very utilitarian.
Utility, Mr. Regan. No frou-frou here.
Buddy Huckle had been handsome, but now he was a gross 40, His overlarge face hung in little white puffs, damp-looking.
You're tan, Mr. Regan. You don't get work done sitting in the sun.
Over Huckle's desk hung the motto, Drive.
Regan, I can give you 3 minutes.
You're paying for it.
Hey, Regan, I like you.
Thanks.
You're utilitarian, no frou-frou, no...
What's the matter, Huckle?
Little white box. Desk.
Huckle was dying. His lips gathered blue patches around the edges. His huge head rolled weakly. I opened his desk and found a small white box. Inside there were pills as big as bullets. I shot one into his gaping mouth and he swallowed. In moments, his body firmed and he seemed to have come out of it.
Heart attack, Regan. Nothing. Have them all the time. Drive myself too hard, but that's all right. I've got money.
It makes nice salad.
You've given me a poem.
You use a dictaphone?
Of course. Did you think I wrote poetry with a quill pen and olive ink? Poem. Title. Money Ain't Salad. Money ain't salad, neighbor. Won't help you when you're down. There's nothing like a pork chop when supper rolls around. So spend your wealth, but not your health. Live wisely. Take a tip. For money sure ain't salad. It sure won't cure the grip. Signed, Buddy Huckle.
America's Bard Laureate.
Exactly. $100 a line.
Who's giving you trouble, Huckle?
Don't know. Take a look at these.
Poison pen notes.
Nasty business.
Uh-huh. Paste-up letters. No one's handwriting appears, so you couldn't check a typewriter. Very smart.
Yeah, all these words came from my published poem.
Yeah, individual words cut out of the poems, then pasted on a plain piece of white paper so they form a message.
Read that one.
One more poem with a chuckle, and death will take you, Huckle.
Oh, crude poetry. Rank imitation of my product.
And someone's threatening your life.
Trying to scare me into not competing in this year's Hotchkiss Award for time capsule poetry.
Time capsule poetry?
Yeah, the winning poem is placed in a time capsule and buried for posterity by Hotchkiss University. To win means nationwide publicity and, of course, a $10,000 prize.
Yeah, the Lion told me. You have any idea who might want to stop your...
You're creating? No. That's why I'm paying your agency.
Mm-hmm. Who publishes most of your stuff?
I have a contract channeling my efforts into Folk Stuff magazine.
Okay, Huckle. If you need me, call me at Folk Stuff magazine.
Wait, Regan.
Yeah?
Regan, I'm scared.
He was scared. But it didn't stop his reaching for the dictaphone when I left. I'd given him another idea for a poem when I said I was going to check Folk Stuff. The magazine was located out in the cute section of Westwood. The building was 3 stories high and constructed to look like Paul Bunyan. The elevator operator said,
"Howdy, neighbor,"
and took me to the editorial offices. I expected to see old Father William behind the editor-in-chief's desk. But what I found was young, blonde, formed by a strict diet and exercise, dressed by Vogue, and had a voice like a warm night.
"Come in, Mr. Regan."
The secretary said I'd find the editor-in-chief in here.
"Sit down, Mr. Regan. I'm the editor-in-chief."
Yeah.
"My name's Julie. If you're a writer, Mr. Regan, I'll publish you."
Well, that's not what I had in mind.
"Then perhaps we might do a manuscript together."
That's nice, but...
I'll just turn on the phonograph. I hope you like American folk music.
Love it.
Get so lonely working up here in Paul Bunyan.
We can be lonely anywhere.
People think me unapproachable. I surprise them.
Sure, lady. Now, about Buddy Huckle.
Oh, him.
Come to think of it, maybe I'd rather hear about you. How come?
All this?
Yeah.
Why, I'm in charge of a folksy magazine.
Something like that.
There's money in folks, Mr. Regan. I bought out this magazine when I learned how many folks there were in America.
Oh. Do the folks know about you?
We don't have many folks out here in California. Mostly the sophisticated type, Mr. Regan. The kind that would take advantage of a girl if they were left alone with her.
Uh-huh.
But I see you want to get back to Buddy Huckle.
Yeah, I had that in mind.
What do you want to know?
Do you know anyone around here that would like to see Huckle stop producing poetry?
Practically all of us feel that way.
Or maybe kill him?
We're all of us capable of murder, aren't we, Mr. Regan?
Works that way.
But why do you ask about Buddy Huckle?
Well, he has a contract with your magazine. You publish all his poetry.
There must be some mistake, Mr. Regan. I don't publish a line of his.
I nodded once because of impact. Then I nodded again to say goodbye. I left still nodding to the elevator operator who said,
So long, neighbor.
You know anything about Buddy Huckle?
Just he's doing a big broadcast from an Oklahoma barbecue over Long Beach tonight, neighbor.
I headed for Long Beach to have a long talk with Buddy Huckle. It was beginning to look like a publicity setup. When I arrived, I found the broadcasting studio on the 5th floor of the Ocean Stone Hotel. Just outside the studio door stood a woman, middle-aged, her hand gripped in her handbag. That old look of murder on her face.
Let go of my arm.
What's in the handbag, lady?
If you think I'm going to say hairpins, you're nuts.
All right, let's take a look.
I got a gun.
I thought maybe...
Let me go!
Looking for someone?
Yeah. That louse, Huckle.
You've been sending him love notes you've cut out of magazines?
Who are you?
Regan, private investigator.
Well, I'm not afraid of you.
That's nice.
I was Buddy Huckle's wife, Regan. Now he's cut off my alimony, and I'm going in there to shoot him dead.
A lot of people in there, lady. Witnesses.
Oh. You say you're right.
Thank you.
You talked me out of it.
Goodbye, lady.
Goodbye, mister. And thanks.
The broadcasting room was a regular hotel room that had been wired for sound. There was a character in a padded suit that kept eyeing a clock and rubbing his moist hands on his sleeves. This must have been the producer. Buddy Huckle was seated at a green-top table, his eyes on the papers in front of him. Wasn't quite 10, so I said hello.
Hello, Regan. I'm on the air in 2 minutes.
Oh, that's a lifetime, Huckle. If you had a dictaphone, you could make yourself $1,000 in 2 minutes.
Maybe 500.
You don't look scared.
That. You can forget our little talk of this afternoon. While I was dictating this afternoon, the culprit walked in, Mr. Regan. I found out who it was threatening me, sending me the note.
Would you mind telling me who?
Oh, nothing to worry about, nothing at all. I don't know why I was so concerned. Just figure your time and make me a refund on my retainer.
A certified pleasure.
Huh?
Quiet, please. We're ready to cut you in now, Mr. Huckle.
I'm ready, George.
Okay, stand by. You're on the air in a second. Take my cue.
Well, howdy, folks. This is America's Board Laureate, Buddy Huckle, talking to you. And, folks, I got a swell little old poem for you folks that I hope you're plumb going to like a lot. I kind of like to call it Money Ain't Salad. It goes, to say money ain't salad, neighbor, won't help you when you're down. There's nothing like a pork chop when supper rolls around.
I couldn't take it. I gently made my way around George, the radio producer, to the door and out. It took me a little time to make my way through the crowd down to the street, and I stood there on the sidewalk for a few moments wondering about Buddy Huckle. Maybe Huckle wasn't as safe as he thought. That was his business now. And suddenly, high overhead above the sounds in the street, there was a shattering of glass. Screams from the street as a figure came hurtling toward the pavement. I jumped. Just in time. The body hit the sidewalk. If you looked hard, you could recognize what was left as Buddy Huckle. The final poetic touch was a framed sign that hit right after the body. On the sign was the motto, Drive.
This is CBS, and you are listening to tonight's adventure with Jeff Regan, Investigator, entitled, There's Nothing Like a Pork Chop When Supper Rolls Around.
A man's body was spread-eagled on a concrete sidewalk. He'd fallen, or been pushed, from the 5th floor of the Ocean Stone Hotel. The body had belonged to a poet named Buddy Huckle. Very popular guy. His discarded wife had been in the hotel gunning for him, and somebody had been sending Huckle notes threatening his life. Maybe his wife. Well, now he didn't have to worry about the race for popularity. He was dead. Since all concerned were L.A. people, Homicide finally put Sanducci on the case. When Sanducci finished in Long Beach, we drove back to L.A. in his squad car, the hearse following us.
Facts, Regan. Look at the facts.
Facts can lie, Sanducci. What's your theory?
You can't convict on theory. Speed it up, Max. We'll never make L.A.
Okay, what are your facts, Sanducci?
Look, fact one.
Let me try. Buddy Huckle is dead.
Smart boy.
Fact two, he fell to his death from 5 stories up.
Right.
His former wife was spotted at the scene of the crime.
And she was gunning for her former husband, Buddy Huckle. You said so yourself, Regan.
Oh. What about George, the radio producer?
He was still in the studio. Didn't see anything. Step on it, Max.
There were no witnesses.
There were 3. They say they saw a woman running away from the scene of the crime.
Oh, you know how witnesses become confused, Sanducci. They may all be wrong.
Said woman became lost in the crowd during the confusion.
Yeah, and you now have an all-points call-out on Buddy Huckle's former wife.
The woman is dangerous, Regan. She's armed.
Well, didn't the witnesses say they saw anything else?
How much you want a witness to see, Regan? Be satisfied.
You know the trouble with facts, Sanducci? You gotta stop when you've got all that'll fit. Where do you place that motto that came down on top of the body?
Give it time. It'll fit.
Yeah, well, it so happens it came from the wall of Buddy Huckle's office.
Look, did you ever hear of planted clues, Regan? The dame is trying to outsmart us. She planted a sign, tried to throw us off.
All right, have it your way, Sanducci. Hurry up, Max. We got to get back to L.A. fast. Hey, why is he slowing down?
Regulations. Max doesn't take orders from anybody but me. All right, step on it, Max.
We arrived in town. The time of night you think you see figures waiting with knives in every puddle of dark. 3 a.m. First I had to check with the line. I made it to his apartment. There was a wafer of light coming from under his door. I walked in. Lion was sound asleep on the couch. A pencil hanging from his mouth, sheets of scribbled paper on the floor. Come on, Lion, get off it.
Hello, public library. Send me... Oh, it's you, Jeffrey.
Expecting a love bandit?
I must have forgotten to lock the door.
One world and a lock on every door.
Oh, as a matter of fact, I was working on my entry for the Hotchkiss Award for Time Bomb Poetry.
Capsule.
Oh, yes. I have another stanza, Jeffrey. Listen. The glory of action, the splendor...
Lion, our client is dead.
Dead? Oh, but that's horrible, my boy. When?
No
How?
time for that. Look, I gotta have your help to find Buddy Huckle's former wife.
Yeah, but I'd planned on spending the rest of the night working on my poem.
Her first name is Mona. That's all we've got. You've got to find her while I check on a dictaphone and a blonde editor.
Oh, a description, Jeffrey.
About 5'10", medium build, brown hair. Last seen in Long Beach wearing a yellow cotton dress, no hat. You're racing the police on this one, Lion. Now, when you get her, hang on, but be careful. She's wanted for murder. For what I needed, there was only one place to go now. The inner office of the late Buddy Huckle. Dark inside the office. Very. The door to the inner office was locked. None of my keys would work, so I used my shoulder. The door gave, and I was in the inner office. I snapped the lights on. When a man's just dead and you're in his room, you keep looking around for him. And I was alone, and I saw what I wanted, the dictaphone. I played the wax roll that was on the machine.
Signed, the Bard Laureate, Buddy Huckle.
I heard a lot of stuff. Poems, mostly, delivered in his rapid-fire manner. Then I heard myself.
You used a dictaphone? Of course. You think I wrote poetry with a quill pen and mauve ink? Poem. Title. Money ain't...
I lifted the playback head. For luck, I tried the end of the dictaphone record. This was really good.
The sign comes, the silent thrust of death by the tempered blade. Sharp, sweet sharpness. I refuse to read any more of this tribe.
Yeah, that didn't sound like Buddy's rhyming cry-pie type of poetry. I played the very end of the record to get the signature, signed Buddy Huckle. But instead I got...
You've made me read this, but I won't sign this lousy poem.
That was the end of the record. Suddenly, without looking up, I knew there was someone standing behind me.
You're Regan.
Mona!
I saw you earlier, now I see you again.
What are you doing here?
I ain't so dumb I don't know the cops are after me.
Well, they probably know you're here right now.
I snuck in.
And you're not going to reach into that purse for your gun again.
I hopped it in an all-night joint.
Well, look, why don't we just sit down quietly and talk, Mona?
Yeah, well, I ain't so dumb I don't know what you're trying to do, mister.
What am I trying to do, Mona?
Well, I just came here to see if maybe Huckle made out an alimony check for me. Maybe didn't mail it.
That's what I'm trying to do?
I need all the money I can get now that the cops are hot after me for something I didn't do.
You're sure you didn't push Buddy Huckle through that window, Mona?
I ain't got the strength.
Guess not.
I need dough to run away from the cops, Mr. Regan. Maybe you could take my case, huh? I got $6 for the gun.
Well, maybe I can help you, Mona. Look, hole up in the Rondo Hotel. Give a fictitious name. The police are liable to check this office.
Gee, you've been real good to me, Mr. Regan. You took my case, and here's my $6.
No thanks. We'll take it up with the Lion later.
The Lion?
Never mind. But find that hotel. I've got to find an editor-in-chief. The phone book gave me Julie's home address. Julie being the editorial brains behind Folk Stuff magazine. It was almost dawn now, but when I rang the doorbell of her swank apartment, I got an immediate response.
Come in, Mr. Regan.
I went in.
You know the police have already come and gone.
Yeah, they get around.
You're expecting to find something they didn't?
Thought maybe.
Drink, Mr. Regan.
Well, it has been a long night.
Say when.
Now.
Rugged individualist. Decided to do that manuscript with me?
Not what I had in mind, lady.
Maybe you'll tell me what you did have in mind.
You were closer to Buddy Huckle than most people know.
Just so, sir.
Huckle had a reputation as a poet. He set you up as editor of Folk Stuff magazine. But you were pretty rich, even for his blood.
You know, you're wrong, Mr. Regan.
I am?
But it makes a good story. More?
Why don't you try? Maybe it'll make more sense.
The magazine Folk Stuff does belong to me, Mr. Regan. No strings. Although Huckle did like to spend money on women, I wasn't one of them.
Sounds good. Go on.
Buddy Huckle had a reputation that helped sell my magazine. There was only one thing. He couldn't write poetry.
Oh. So when you told me that Huckle didn't write a line that went into Folk Stuff, you weren't lying. Huh?
Even I couldn't stand his poetry. I made little changes here and there in every line. It gave me a sense of accomplishment. He didn't seem to mind.
Well, lady, I guess that's all here.
Oh, Mr. Regan.
Lonely Julie grabbed my lapels, held me tight, and kissed me. But I managed to break away. After a while. I had to leave in the line of duty. And the man I had to see was the one that had last seen Buddy Huckle alive. George, the radio producer. I reached him at his home.
Mr. Regan.
You produced Buddy Huckle's broadcast at the Ocean Stone Hotel last night.
Lousy show, no fire.
Yeah, but you were the last man to see Buddy Huckle alive.
No, there must have been somebody else.
You followed Huckle out into the hallway after the... Lied to the police. You must have seen something. What?
I stayed in the studio.
Oh, George, open up.
Ow! I don't want to get mixed up in it. Let me alone. Now. All right. I got a police record back in Shy, Regan. You won't...
No deals. But make it the truth.
Okay. It was just I didn't want to get mixed up in no killing.
What'd you see?
I followed the star out of the studio like I always do to tell him it was a great show.
Yeah?
Only when I opened the door, I saw this little guy pop out of the crowd and plant his two hands against the star.
Buddy Huckle?
Yeah, and push him through the window.
Thanks, George. That's all I need.
I tried to step back before I saw it happen. I got a record, Regan.
Sure. Try not to worry, George. Everything may turn out all right. The little man, George, had seen push Huckle out of the window, could be Laszlo, Huckle's secretary. I checked all morning trying to find Laszlo, but he'd disappeared from the face of the earth. Then I got to thinking what kind of a guy Laszlo appeared to be. A thinker. Now, where would a thinker type go to hide if he was afraid of something? Someplace familiar to give him a sense of security, yet off the beaten path. It hit me. Sure. The public library. And that's where I found him. 2 flights below street level in the last reference room. Laszlo. His round popcorn white head was bent over a book. Hanging above his head was the public library sign, Silence.
It's you again.
Come with me, Laszlo.
No, you shan't take me alive.
Stop poking your pocket at me, Laszlo.
It's a dueling pistol. It belonged to Edgar Allan Poe, and it'll fire again in righteous cause.
Yeah, sure. Now listen, Laszlo. I know you finally blew your top about Huckle's poetry. You sent him those pasted notes threatening his life to keep him from writing any more.
He dictated his poetry.
It's all over, Laszlo.
No. You can't prove anything.
You were seen pushing Huckle to his death.
Oh, But I just couldn't stand it any longer. Today, after you left, I held this dueling pistol to his head and made him dictate one of my poems for spite. And then I resigned.
Go on.
He put money ahead of art. With his reputation, he was going to win the Hotchkiss Prize without their even looking at his work, while my poetry would go begging. You realize that I am one of only 4 men in the world who really understands Gertrude Stein?
Go on, Laszlo.
I didn't want to hurt him. Just frighten him into ceasing to write poetry.
You followed him to the broadcast last night.
Yes, it was the last resort. I was going to interrupt the broadcast. Tell the world he was an imposter, not a poet.
Yeah, but you have the motto from his wall with you.
Yes, positive proof of his inartistic approach. His motto was drive. But I couldn't go through with it. I was leaving when...
You saw Huckle leave the scene of his latest triumph, the broadcasting studio. This was too much. You killed him.
I was blind with rage.
In pushing Huckle, you dropped the motto out of the window, huh?
Well, I don't know. I don't remember. It all happened so fast.
Let's forget the dueling pistol, Laszlo. Just come along quietly.
No, you shan't take me alive.
Hand that gun over, Laszlo.
No, stand back!
The dueling pistol went off in his hand. The bullet cracked the ceiling. I grabbed the gun away from Laszlo. He didn't put up much of a fight. And then I led him from the library as quietly as possible. Sanducci, down at Homicide, felt as sorry for Laszlo as I did. But now Laszlo should have plenty of time to write poetry and not worry about selling it. State will take care of him. George, the radio producer, got a dressing down for withholding information, and I called Mona to tell her she was no longer under suspicion. And that wrote the end. It was high noon when I checked in with my boss, the Lion, at the bureau. He was reciting.
Oh, yesterday is but a dream, and tomorrow is only a vision.
You still can enter the poetry contest, Fatso?
Of course, my boy. The 10,000's as good as mine. I've just completed my work of art.
Okay. How does it go?
Oh, it's classic, Jeffrey. Yeah. Reminiscent of ancient Sanskrit poetry. In translation, of course.
Well, I've had a hard night, but I'd like to hear it.
Well, you've heard most of it. I'll just give you the ending.
Mm-hmm. Go on.
And tomorrow is only a vision. But today, well lived, makes every yesterday a dream of happiness.
Oh, that's real fine.
Oh, yes. And every tomorrow a vision of hope. Why are you walking around?
Oh, just looking, Lion.
Now, you just sit still while I finish. Look well, therefore, to this day. Such is the salutation to the dawn.
Aha! What's this in your wastebasket?
Nothing, Jeffrey.
A library.
Give me that.
Oh, no.
The cleaning woman must have dropped it there.
What title of the book? Great Poems by Unknown Poets.
Yeah. Well, since nobody claims them, Jeffrey, it would be a shame to see them go to waste.
Jack Webb, Investigator is written by William Frug and Gilbert Thomas, produced and transcribed by Sterling Tracy, and stars Frank Graham as Regan with Frank Nelson as Anthony J. Lyon. Original music is by Dick Arant. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Dragnet.
You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to burglary detail. For the past several weeks, a gang has been breaking into neighborhood stores. Routine investigation fails to turn up any kind of a lead. Your job? Find one.
documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Tuesday, March 20th. It was cold in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of burglary detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Bernard. My name's Friday. We were on our way out from the office, and it was 9:47 a.m. when we got to the third floor of the Beryl Arms Hotel, room 314.
Sure dark.
Yeah. Want to try it again?
Yeah. Sounds like somebody's moving around.
Yeah.
Who is it?
You Jed Nagel?
Yeah, why?
Police officers would like to talk to you.
I ain't done nothing wrong. There's no reason to rouse me.
You want to open the door?
All right. Come on in. I just got up.
Yeah. You alone?
Yeah, there's nobody else.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the bathroom. I told you that there wasn't anybody else here.
Well, you don't mind if we look around, do you?
I do too, mind. I don't like you cops coming around. You're going to ruin my reputation. People in the building are going to think you're friends.
Well, now, I'll tell you, we won't tell them if you don't.
What do you want, anyway?
We got a report that you were down on East 5th last night. Is that right?
Well, I don't know. All last night's kind of foggy. I don't remember where I was exactly.
Do you remember being downtown?
I told you I didn't. Why? What are you trying to lay off on me now?
Place is clean, Joe.
Well, I told you it was. Now you want to fill me in on what this is all about?
All right, we'd like to know what you were doing downtown last
Well,
night.
how do I know? I had it rough last night.
Anybody else along with you?
No, not that I remember.
You remember being near the Palace Liquor Store?
No, not right off. I might have checked in, though. I throw a lot of business their way. Well, why all the questions? Is there something wrong?
We'd like to have you tell us.
Well, I'd like to help out, but there ain't nothing I can do.
We got a field interrogation report that you were in the area. Police car stopped and shook you down. Isn't that right?
Shit. Ain't nothing new. I'm always getting stopped.
You ever been arrested?
Couple of times.
What charge?
Drunk.
At all?
Yes. Never stood anything heavier than drunk.
Ever do any big time?
No. A couple of months at Castell. Went up to, take the cure.
Didn't hold on, did it?
Well, no.
Never mind.
You don't happen to have an aspirin, do you?
No, we don't.
How about your friend here?
He said we didn't.
Oh, that's too bad. Sure could use one. Mind if I take a look in the bathroom? There might be something in there to take care of my head.
Sure, go ahead.
We checked your record before we came up here.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Find out anything?
Enough to know there's a warrant on you.
For what?
Seems you got two wives back in Texas. They're both looking for you.
All right, now come on. Get your clothes on.
Yeah. Do you want to tell me what this is really about?
What?
They didn't send two plainclothes cops down here to take me in on a bigamy charge. What's the real pitch?
There was a burglary last night. I wondered if you had anything to do with it.
Burglary?
That's right.
Not me. I haven't got the guts to get into something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what caused all the trouble with the women.
What's that?
Oh, them all the time tell me I should get off the dime and do something. Morning, noon, and night. All the time running off at the mouth about how I was lazy. You can't expect a man to take much of that.
Come on, get your clothes on.
You going to send me back to Texas?
We don't know what's going to happen. We just have to take you in.
Gee, I sure hope I don't go back. Woman's nothing but trouble, mister, nothing else. You remember it.
Must not bother you much.
Huh?
You married two of them. Jed Nagel was taken to the main jail and held for the Texas authorities. A check of his actions on the previous night showed that he couldn't have committed the burglaries. 11:30 a.m. Frank and I checked by the office, and then we went over to the crime lab. Ray Pinker was just finishing up his investigation.
Come on in, Joe.
Right.
How's it going, Ray?
Yeah, just wrapping it up.
You got anything for us?
Same as you had on the last three jobs. Here, pictures are there. Take a look.
Well.
Oh, they're still a little damp.
Yeah. This is the entrance, huh?
Yeah. They went through the wall from the barber shop into the bar.
How'd they get in there?
Barber shop?
Yeah.
Used a jimmy on the back window. Climbed in, went to work on the wall.
Wonder why they didn't go right into the bar.
The place is covered by an alarm system, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Here. This is the box inside.
Yeah.
If they turned it off after they got into the place.
You get any prints?
No. Went over all the windows, safe, bar itself. Didn't turn up anything you used.
What about the men themselves? Can you give us anything on them?
Must have been at least 2 of them. Might have been 3.
How'd you come up with that?
Footprints.
Oh.
They kicked up a lot of plaster when they went into the place. A lot of dust around. One of them wore a size 9 shoe, and the other one had a size 7.5 foot.
Where'd you get the third man?
A lot more of the smaller impressions. Either the little guy jumped around more, or else there was someone to help make the prints.
Mm-hmm. Anything else, Ray?
We got some good pictures of Jimmy marks in the barber shop. If you come up with a tool, we'll be able to match it for you.
What about the safe, Ray?
Punch job. No class there.
Anything on it?
Mm-mm. How much they take this time?
Owner guesses at about 5,000, wasn't it, Frank?
Yeah.
Gives them a total of what?
Well, according to our figures, a little over 12 since they started working.
Scoring good.
Better than they think.
Huh?
We've just about run out of leads. Frank and I have been all over town trying to scratch something up. None of them work out.
Gotta be one someplace.
Yeah, Skipper keeps telling us that. Corner pocket's on his back.
Bound to be.
Yeah, I guess so. Doesn't make it any easier on us, though.
You signed the application.
Yeah, well, thanks, Ray. Anything turns up, give us a call, will you?
Sure, Joe. Isn't likely, though. You've had it.
Yeah.
You going back to the office?
Yeah, staff's office should have those cards for us by now.
Okay, hope they point somewhere.
Yeah, you better get in line, huh?
Take it easy, Ray.
Yeah. Drop around sometime. I'll pop for a lunch.
Well, we get this one cleaned up, we'll buy.
You got a deal. My wife will go for that.
What?
She's been asking me to lose some weight.
Uh-huh.
Looks like it'll be a long diet.
Frank and I went back to City Hall and checked with the staff's office. In the runs they'd made, they came up with cards on 7 men who were known to have used the same method of operation in committing burglaries. We checked the list through R&I. 3 of the possibles were still serving sentences in San Quentin. 1 of them had died, and 2 were in eastern jails. The 7th, a Norris Pauly, had a record listing 4 arrests and 1 conviction. His address was given as 4622 50th Street. We left the office and went out to check on him. The register listed him as living in apartment 12. We walked upstairs.
Should be on the left, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, here it is.
Let me try it again.
Yeah.
Just a minute. Yeah.
Like to see Norris Pauly?
In here.
Where is he?
You'll see where that's any business of yours.
Police officers.
What do you want to see Norrie about?
Better if we talk to him about that.
Suit yourself. Don't make any difference to me.
You mind if we come in?
You can talk right out there in the hall.
All right, Miss Pauly, open that door.
Take a jump.
Sadie, what's all the noise?
Lady, either you open that door or we will.
See it,
All right, get out of the way, lady. All right, Pauly, hold it right there.
You get out of here. You got no right to break in here like this.
Oh, will you shut up, Sadie?
I'm trying to do you a favor. Look what thanks I get.
Well, who asked you? Now, go on, get out of here.
Last time I tried to do anything for you. Last time!
Yeah, sure. Bye. Real harpy. Always trying to take care of me. Real harpy.
All right.
You know, she means good, but she doesn't know how to carry it off. Always trying to protect me.
Yeah.
What do you want to see me about?
I want to ask you a couple of questions.
Sure, I'll go along with you. No reason for me not to. What do you want to know?
How come you're home?
Where'd you expect to find me?
You're on parole, aren't you?
Well, you knew that before you asked the question.
Supposed to have a job?
Yeah, I got one.
How come you're not working today?
Oh, I see what you're getting at. I got a cold kind of virus infection. Figured I'd take the day off, get it all cleared up. I was in bed when you got here. That's the reason I had all the trouble.
Your employer know where you are?
Well, sure. I called him and told him. I'm not trying to pull any deals. I've been punching the clock since I got out. I want to keep it that way.
Where do you work?
Parking lot downtown. Not killing the world, but I'm paying the rent. I got no beef.
How do you spend your off time?
What do you mean?
When you're not working, what do you do?
Mostly sit around the house, watch the TV.
You go out night?
No, not much. Maybe every couple of weeks, Sadie and me go down to the Mexican place on the corner, have dinner, taking the show. That's about it.
You been out this week?
What night?
Tell us about all of them, will you?
No go. I've been home every night.
Can you prove that?
Well, do I have to?
It'll make you look better.
Well, ask Sadie. She'll tell you. We've been home together every night, just sitting here watching the TV.
What time do you go to work?
I check in about 7.
When you quit?
4:30. Once in a while, if it's crowded, I stay over.
You work late this week?
No, you can check that with the boss. He'll tell you.
All right, we will.
Well, what's this all about, huh? You guys are after something, aren't you?
That's right.
Well, why don't you tell me what it is? I hear stuff once in a while. Might be able to help you out.
You see the old crowd anymore, Norris?
Well, once in a while they walk down the street. They nod, I nod. Nothing more.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what are you after?
Tunnel jobs.
You figured I might have a piece of that action, huh?
Matches the way you work?
No, it doesn't fit. I told you I've been with the bucket since I got out. Even with taxes, I make more.
You heard anything about who's working?
Doesn't go out of this room?
We won't take it.
Okay. The boys found out I was giving you information. My insurance premiums sure go up real fast.
Well, don't you worry about it. Now, what do you know?
Word's around, there's 2 guys.
We had that going in.
They pulled 3 jobs.
Well, they made it 4.
No, I don't know about the other one.
It'll be in the papers.
Uh-huh.
You got a name?
No, just heard that they were working.
Where'd you hear?
A fella down on 7th. He sells papers down there. We have a cup of coffee once in a while, he told me.
You know where we can get in touch with him?
Yeah, but it'd be better if you didn't, though. It'll lead right back to me. Sadie? Hey, wait a minute, honey. Where you going with the suitcase?
I'm leaving you.
Oh, come on. Isn't anything serious?
You don't ever talk to me. Try to do you a favor and you take their side. I've had it from you, bum.
Oh, come on, Sadie. Don't be sore.
Take your hand off of me.
Baby, please, don't be sore.
I'm going to tell you once more. Take your hand off of me.
Look, I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings, Sadie. What you going to hit me for?
Because you're a bum. Don't go trying to get me to come back to you. I'm through this time.
It's too bad, Polly. No, it isn't. I've been trying to figure some way to get her to walk out since I got out of jail. Never been able to do it. I sure ain't sorry. I ought to buy you guys a drink for taking care of it for me. Yeah. Only one thing that worries me is her big mouth. She's always talking. She might have heard me say I'd give you a hand. She blabs that around. I'm in real trouble.
You didn't give us any names.
That doesn't make any difference. She gets to talking. She'll have me telling you the name of every hoodlum in town. Whether that gets around, I'm a gone duck. I got to get after her. Yeah, Sadie and her big mouth. She's going to get me in trouble.
Well, makes you even then, doesn't it?
Huh?
Yours kept you out of it. Before we left the apartment, we checked Paulie's story and verified the fact that he was not implicated in the burglaries. We drove down to the corner of 7th and Wild. We found the newsman Norris Paulie had told us about. We talked to him for about 15 minutes before we were able to convince him that he wouldn't get into trouble by giving us the information that he had. He told us what he knew about the tunnel burglaries. He was unable to give us a name of the suspect that he had in mind, but he did give us a description and the nickname Kiko. With this information, we returned to the city hall and checked the moniker file. There were several Kikos listed, but only 2 that matched the description. The first one checked out clean. The second, a Franklin James Wig, WMA, 33 years old, had done time in the state penitentiary as a cat burglar. We contacted the state authority and found that Zweig was on active parole. From them, we got his address and we went out to see him. It was a small one-story modern house built in the early 30s. The chrome railing up the front stairs was rusty and the paint on the front of the building was peeling. We rang the bell and waited.
Yep. Your name's Wig?
Yeah, that's right.
Police officers. This is Sergeant Joe Friday. My name's Smith.
What do you want me to do?
Why don't you ask us in?
So I was saying to you, I don't want to get the carpets dirty. Let's talk on it.
Come on, mister, get your coat.
What
I
for?
want to talk to you.
About what?
We'll tell you about it downtown.
You make a charge or I ain't leaving the house.
All right, suspicion of burglary.
You're going to drag that up again.
We don't make the rules.
Good time once in your life and the cops never get off your back.
You should have thought of that going in.
What good would it do? You cops never learn.
Well, you're not much of an example, are you?
What's that mean?
You're probably going back for another course. Before we took the suspect downtown, we made a thorough search of his home. We found nothing to tie him in with the burglary. He was taken to the squad room and questioned for over an hour. During that time, he'd say nothing. He was booked in at the main jail, and Frank and I checked out of the office. The next day, Wednesday, March 21st, we had him brought from his cell. We talked to him in the interrogation room of the main jail.
How long you guys think you're going to be able to hold me?
Depends on when you decide to talk.
Tell you what, cop, I'll make a deal with you.
No deals.
What do you mean?
We don't want you. We want the guy who engineered the burglaries.
Well, then why don't you let me go now?
Want to make sure the story gets a play in the papers.
Well, what's that going to prove?
Your friend will get worried. We'll figure you're going to talk.
Look, if I was mixed up in anything, I'm not one way or the other, but if I was, why should he get worried?
Word's out that he's the brains.
Well, where's that from?
All over town.
It's not true.
The way we got it, stories around that you went along for the ride. Other fellow did all the brain work.
Who said that?
Everybody we've talked to.
Well, then if everybody's talking about him, why ain't he here instead of me?
Because he's a smart one of the pair. Somebody's got to fall. Might as well be you. He can pick up another partner.
You telling me the real scamp?
That's the way we get it.
Not true.
Well, we only got your word for that. All I know is if I ever get in trouble, I'd want to make sure I had a pigeon waiting to take the beef. You're here, he's out. Now you tell me who's smart.
How'd you get to me?
It was in the books.
Not like this. I fell for cat burglary. Nothing to do with tunnel jobs. Somebody had to blow the whistle.
That's so?
Sure. You had no call to pick me up. Just right out of left field, you walk in. Who did it? Who made the call? Somebody did, huh? Somebody pointed me out. Come on, I know who it was. You ain't going to get him in trouble telling me. Somebody told you, didn't they?
That's right.
Oh, fits real good. Well, I tell you this, cop, I ain't that dumb. A lot of things I've done that I don't want anybody to know about, but I never blew the whistle on a friend. That's one thing I didn't do. All that stuff about him being the brains, it's a lot of coconuts. He can't get into a phone booth without help. I figured the whole deal. It was me who said we'd had it and ought to stop. He wanted to keep going. That's why I left.
When was this?
Night before last. After we got through, he was sore because there was only a little over $4,000 in the box. We heard there was around 10.
Yeah.
Said he wanted to make a big score before we quit. Said to go together on one more. Told me what he wanted to do. I wanted no part of it. The guy's off his rocker. I left.
What's he got in mind, you know?
Wants to tunnel into a bank.
You are listening to Dragnet, the authentic story of your police force in action.
We continued to talk to Franklin Zweig. From him, we got a complete description of the second suspect and the name Lester Kroll. We checked the name through R&I, and we came up with a record for him. Listed were several arrests for purse snatching and suspicion of assault. In spite of the arrest, Kroll hadn't served any time in jail. We showed the mug shot in the package to Zweig, and we got a positive identification. We asked the suspect in custody where Kroll lived. He gave us an address on South Figueroa, but when we checked there, we found that Kroll had left without giving a forwarding address. We talked to all of the people listed in his package as having known the suspect. None of them could or would tell us where the man was. We questioned Franklin Zweig further, but he was unable to tell us what bank Kroll had in mind. We contacted Vern Alm of the Bank of America, Frank Stump of the Security First National, and other special agents of Southern California banks. They, in turn, notified the branch managers to be on the lookout for evidence of Kroll working in their neighborhoods. Special M.O. bulletins were put out to all officers in the city, giving particulars on the methods the suspect was known to use. In addition to these, local broadcasts and APBs were gotten out on all suspects. For a week, the search dragged on. During that time, there were no further reports of attempted tunnelings and no sign of Lester Kroll. Friday, March 30th, 8:01 a.m. I checked into the office. Frank was waiting for me.
Morning, old buddy.
Hi, Frank.
Beautiful day, huh?
No, it's a little cold out.
Yeah, but it doesn't make any difference to you, huh, old buddy?
No, it doesn't.
You feel any different? You feel any different today than you did yesterday?
Are you all right?
Never felt better. How about you, old buddy?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Hey, just a minute. I know what's wrong.
You do, huh?
Yeah. You didn't think I'd forget, did you?
Listen, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Ah, come on, old buddy. Just a minute. I'll get it. Got it right over here, right up on the top shelf. I did it myself. Here you are, Joe. Wrapped it myself, too. Looks pretty good, huh?
Yeah, I guess it does.
I didn't have nothing to put on the top, so I found a couple of Christmas tree ornaments. Put them on with a ribbon.
Yeah, that's nice.
Come on. Dig down in there.
Well, what is it?
Go ahead, open it up. Got him yesterday after lunch. Thought I wasn't ever going to get you out of the way. Remember when I told you I was going out to buy a new hat? Remember?
You know, Frank, I think maybe you made a little mistake.
Oh, just take the top right off the box, Joe. Open it right up.
All right. There.
What do you think?
Well, they're very nice, Frank.
Hey, you bet. Fleece line slippers? Got a pair myself. Greatest thing in the world, a cold morning. Keep your feet warm, Joe. Fleece is warm, you know.
Yes, yeah.
I got a pair myself.
Mm-hmm.
See the card? There's a card there. Open it up. Go on, read it. Go ahead.
Out loud?
Sure.
This is the day that comes once a year, the day your face does shine. A happy day for one and all. Because today you're 9.
Doesn't match too good, I guess. It's all I had at the shoe store. Happy birthday, Joe.
You know, I just don't know what to say, Frank.
Well, I know how you feel, old buddy. I understand you're all kind of choked up, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I am. This isn't my birthday, you know.
How you choked up? Huh?
This is not my birthday, Frank.
Well, it's the 30th, isn't it? March 30th?
Yeah. My birthday's August 30th.
Now, wait a minute, buddy. It can't be. I got it right here in my little book. Wait a minute. See? See right here? March 30th. Joe's birthday. I wrote that myself. You know my handwriting. March 30th.
Yeah, you got the date right, but it's not mine.
You kidding me?
Frank, I know my own birthday.
Huh. It's funny. Must be somebody. Who do I know named Joe?
I got it.
Joe.
Burglary Friday. Yes,
March
sir?
30th.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
March 30th?
Where is that? I see. All right, sir. We'll be right out. Yes, sir, right away. Come on, old buddy. We got one to roll on.
August 30th. Huh?
I say we got to roll. Let's go. Barry over at the street department. We got a call this morning.
Yeah.
Looks like somebody's trying to dig a tunnel in the storm drain. Frank and I left the office and we drove over to the corner of Silver Lake Boulevard and McCollum Street. We met with Barry Falcon of the street department. He led us to a manhole in the middle of the intersection. He told us that there had been numerous complaints from citizens in the area that the cover on the outlet kept rattling. When the street department checked it, they found that the cushioning material around the metal plate had been removed. It was replaced, but the next day there were several more calls. When the neighbors were questioned, they told of a man who arrived in a pickup truck about 2:30 in the morning. He'd lift the cover and enter the storm drain. Before the daylight hours, he'd leave and he'd drive away. From the description they gave, it was possible that the repairman was from the street maintenance department, but a check of their records showed that no crews were working in that area. After talking with Falcon, Frank and I climbed down the ladder into the drain. We walked about 20 feet up the tunnel, and we found the reason that we'd been called.
Barry tell you what's over us?
Well, near as we can figure, it's the vault in the bank, isn't it?
Sure isn't kidding.
Take a look over here. Got all the equipment, lamps, a couple of drills.
Yeah, but he's not going to be able to use them unless he ties into an electric line someplace.
I probably figured he'd run into one.
Mm-hmm. Hey, what's that over there in the corner?
We'll take a look.
Can you see it?
No, better leave it alone.
What do you got?
He's got it all figured.
What do you mean?
The bottle over there?
Yeah.
Looks like nitroglycerin. The people in the immediate vicinity were shown the mug shots of Lester Kroll, who was positively identified as the man who had worked in the storm drain. We asked about the truck, but none of the people could give us a good description of it. The employees in the bank were cautioned, and Frank and I arranged for a 24-hour surveillance to be set up on the storm drain outlet. 2 days passed without activity, and then on Monday, April 3rd, we waited in our car down the street from the intersection. 2:20 a.m.
Have a cup of coffee, Joe?
Yeah, wouldn't be bad.
Boy, it sure gets cold this time in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Say, I finally figured it out.
What do you mean?
Who Joe was.
What's that?
Here. Yeah, it's hot.
Yeah, thank you.
Joe. You know the name in my book, The Birthday?
Oh, yeah.
It's our mailman. It's our mailman. It was his birthday.
Oh.
I got him one of those cards that says, "We're sorry we forgot." You know the kind.
Mm-hmm.
We gave him the card and a carton of cigarettes. Old Joe sure got a kick out of it.
Yeah.
Sure gets cold this time in the morning.
Take a look.
Yeah, I see it.
Clark in there. You see his face?
Not from here. Well, he gets out.
Look at that. He even got a hook for the manhole cover.
How do you like that?
Watch it now. He's going under the light.
It's him.
Well, all right, let's let him get down in the storm drain. That way we'll be able to get him while he's working.
Right.
Let him get in there.
Okay.
Okay, let's go. You want to give me a hand with the cover?
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right. Okay.
Hold it up a minute. Give him a chance to get to work.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's go. Come on.
Right. Sure not wasting any time.
Probably figures on making the break this morning.
Uh-huh.
Take it easy now.
Right. He's seeing good now.
He's sure going after it. All right, come on, let's take him.
Right.
Come on. How about it?
He's dead.
Look at that. See up there? He ran into one of the power lines into the bank.
Yeah, he almost made it, Joe. A couple of more inches, he'd have gotten in.
Yeah?
He must have figured wrong someplace. Made a mistake somewhere.
Yeah, when he bought that drill.
The story you have just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On August 16th, trial was held in Department 97, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. In a moment, the results of that trial. Franklin James Weig was tried and convicted of burglary in the second degree, 3 counts, and received sentence as prescribed by law. Burglary in the second degree is punishable by imprisonment for a period of not less than 1, nor more than 15 years in the state penitentiary. At a coroner's inquest, the death of Lester Bruce Kroll was found to be accidental, occurring while in the commission of a felony. You have just heard Dragnet, a series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice comes from the Office of Chief of Police W.H. Parker, Los Angeles Police Department. Dragnet.
You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to the business office. Past records show that you can expect 170 crimes to occur in the city during the next 24 hours. You don't know where. You don't know when. Your job, handle them.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Saturday, July 10th. It was hot in Los Angeles. We'd been assigned to the business office, morning watch. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Gilbert. My name's Friday. I was on my way back from the coffee room, and it was 12:10 a.m. when I got back to room 21, the business office.
Well, fine what? Hey.
Who you talking to, buddy?
Oh, hi, Joe.
Hi.
Hey, try to stay around, will you?
Huh?
I've been here 20 minutes. I've had 29 phone calls and written 3 reports.
Okay, I brought you some coffee back.
Oh, thanks. Hey, how you feel? Any better?
Oh, a little bit. I don't know what it is. I ache all over. I think I'm coming down with a cold.
That's too bad. A lot of that going around.
Yeah. Where's Skipper?
We ran over to the crime lab. Want to talk to Pinker.
Mm-hmm. How about the pool cards? You check them?
Yeah, the book's here someplace.
There it is, right on that paper there. No, over there. There.
Oh. Yeah, 5 of them out. Check in the book.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. Something we can do for you?
You a detective?
Yes, ma'am. That's right.
All right, young man, my car's been stolen.
All right.
I told one of the officers on the corner about it, but he said it might work faster if I came up here.
Yes, ma'am. That's right.
The car's stolen. All you've got to do is go out and find it. Just find my car.
What kind of a car is it?
Well, it was a brand new Chevrolet.
That's 1954.
That's right. Bel Air with the windows that fold down.
All right. Now, we'll need to know some more things here before we can start looking for it.
Yes, what's that?
Your name?
Avis Bowen.
Mm-hmm. That's A-V-I-S.
Well, that's right. There's no other way to spell it. Avis Bowen.
Yes, ma'am. Do you have a middle initial?
R. Hope you're not going to ask me what it stands for.
No, that won't be necessary.
There isn't anybody that knows what my middle name is.
Yes, ma'am. All we want is the initial.
Well, that's all you're going to get.
All right, Mrs. Bowen.
It's Miss.
All right. What's the license number?
Oh, well, now, I think it's 1U44441.
All right. Wait just a moment, please.
Who are you calling now?
DMV.
Well, who's that?
Department of Motor Vehicles.
Oh, my, all this going on. It's a wonder you ever catch anybody.
Hi, Harry. This is Friday over at the business office. California license 1 Union 44441. That's right.
Now, tell him it's a Bel Air with the windows that fold down by themselves.
Yes, ma'am, I'll do. Doesn't it? Well, hold on here. You sure about that license number?
Well, what do you mean?
Well, it kind of looks like you made a little mistake, Miss Bowen.
I did not. The car's stolen.
Yes, we understand that, but you gave us the wrong license number.
1U44441. I remember it because of all the fours.
Harry, I'll call you back. Miss Bowen, that number's registered to a 1940 Studebaker.
My license number?
Well, I don't know, but the one you gave me, yes, ma'am.
1954 Chevrolet Bel Air. Windows that fold down by themselves.
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
There must be several hundred cars that look like that. You've seen them before. Well, you act like you've never seen a car like that. There are lots of them around. Mine's light blue with a gold on top.
Uh-huh. We still need the license number. Do you think you have it at home?
Yes, I guess so.
All right, fine. If you'll phone it in to us, we can start looking for it.
Well, how do you expect me to get there?
Ma'am?
Home. How do you expect me to get there?
We'll have a car drop you off.
Well, it's about time I was getting some kind of service around here.
Yes, ma'am.
I think I'll write a letter to the papers about this.
All right, ma'am.
The whole thing, right down to that TMV or whatever it is. Expose the whole mess. Oh, you're going to be mighty sorry you ever opened this can of beans.
We're doing the best we can, ma'am.
Well, that's not very much. Standing around here making phone calls isn't finding my car.
Well, you said it yourself, didn't you?
What's that?
There must be several hundred cars like yours here in the city.
Yes.
Well, without the right license number, how are we going to find it?
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Ma'am?
You're nothing but a fake.
I beg your pardon?
You ain't no detective.
The business office, room 21. It's open 24 hours a day, but it's after the detective division closes that it begins to work. While patrol units in the city function normally, the men in the business office give advice on booking procedure, policy matters, and other police business. They issue pool cars and riot guns, and in the event of an emergency, they act as advisors in an overall plan for the dispersal of policemen. The captain on duty is, in effect, the acting chief of police. On the average weeknight, the activities are slow and routine. But over the weekend, the men involved can expect to handle several hundred phone calls from the thousands put through the complaint board. These calls deal with every crime in the municipal and penal codes. In addition to this, they handle the citizen traffic through the city hall. Next door is a report room where statements are taken and forwarded to the captains of the detective divisions for appropriate action. Frank and I had checked in at 12 midnight, and for the following half hour, we did business as usual. At 12:41 a.m., we got a hotshot call reporting the sound of shots in the 4200 block on Albany Street. At 12:43, the call was changed to a shooting and ambulance follow-up. At 12:45, the hotshot phone rang again.
That's shooting?
Yeah, it's a homicide now.
You gonna call a unit?
Better have them check it, yeah.
Same address as the shot?
A couple of houses down. This is Friday, business office. Will you put out a call to 1K5? Have them cover the shooting and ambulance follow-up at 4289. That's 4289 Albany. You got it. Right. Thank you.
Looks like a good one, huh?
Yeah. Turns out we'll get Geezy out of bed.
Well, that'll make him happy. He'll end up in their laps.
Hi, Joe.
Bob, what do you got?
You want to sit down there, Pop?
Who's he?
I don't know. We found in front of one of the burlesque houses on Main.
Mm-hmm.
Place was closed. He was just standing out there looking at the pictures.
You got a name on it?
Mm-mm. Haven't been able to get him to say anything. You want to give it a try?
All right. You want to tell us who you are, old fella? Come on, we want to help you, but there's not much we can do if you won't tell us your name.
Doing about as good as we did. Okay, I looked pretty wobbly when we stopped.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Well, we'll have to take him over to Georgia Street. Wait a minute. You got a wallet? All right, let me look at it, will you? Maybe there's something in here that'll help us.
Yeah. And the money?
No. A few cards here. Nothing with a name on it.
What's that one there? Something written on the back. Looks like a phone number.
Yeah, that's what it is. You want to call and see if they know who he is?
Yeah, give it a try.
Yeah, you just sit still right there.
Hello, this is Officer Frank Smith, Los Angeles Police Department. No, there's nothing wrong. Well, we have a man here in the office. He's carrying a card with this phone on it. Wonder if you can tell us who he is. Huh? Yes, ma'am. Well, he looks to be in his late 70s. He's got white hair. That's right. Well, he's wearing a brown wool sweater, black pants, and a black felt hat. That's right. You want to give me that again? Mm-hmm. No, he's all right. Yeah. That's right. We'll have him brought home. Right away. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. And we got it. His name's McKinley Dunn. He lives out on Vincent Avenue in Highland Park. Talked to his daughter.
Yeah.
She says they got into an argument after breakfast. McKinley here just got up and walked out of the house. She hasn't seen him since. Pretty worried about him.
Figures.
Says he's always kind of independent.
Well, better run him home. Huh?
Hey, you want us to take care of it?
No, we can't have you out of service that long. I'll call Highland Park, have them pick him up. You want to take him over to York Boulevard and make the transfer there, Bob?
Sure thing.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Dunn. Here you are. Put this back in your pocket.
Come on, sir. We'll take you home. Thanks, Joe.
It's no trouble, Bob. Tell the boys from Highland Park to have his daughter put a card in the wallet with all the information on it. Will you make it easier next time?
Sure.
The card's not going to do any good, Joe.
Hmm?
Card's not going to help. Daughter says she always puts one in. As soon as the old man gets out of the house, he tears it up.
I got it. Business office, Friday. Uh-huh. Photographer get there? How many? You get the story? Yeah, we'll bring him in. Do what you can. That's right. We'll see you then. That's Sam and 1K5 on the shooting?
Yeah.
They got 2 suspects in custody. They're bringing them both in.
Uh-huh.
Third man left the scene. Sam says the accidental death possibility is out now.
Yeah.
It's a clean case of murder. 10 minutes later, the officers in Unit 1K5 arrived with the 2 suspects. They were identified as Fred and Harriet Purcell. The names were run through R&I, but no record was found on either one of them. It was obvious that the 2 people had been drinking heavily. The husband was taken to the report room, while Frank and I questioned the woman.
I don't remember too good. Everything seemed to happen so fast. Just all of a sudden there was this kind of noise and Norman was dead.
Norman, is that the victim?
Yeah. Norman Moncrief.
You must know who had the gun.
I've been saying that to myself, but it doesn't do anything. I guess I had too much to drink.
Who else was in the apartment with you?
Now, you mean besides Fred and me?
That's right.
It's just the 3 of us, that's all.
We got a report there was another man present.
Well, then you know more than me.
All right. You want to give us the whole story?
The beginning when?
From the start.
Okay. I had a tooth pull this morning. I guess that's what caused all the trouble.
How's that?
My tooth was impacted and I had it pulled, and the dentist gave me a shot of Novocaine and you pull it to a can. See it?
Mm-hmm.
Right here. Mm-hmm. Well, I got home and the Novocaine started to wear off. The whole side of my face started to hurt terrible.
Yeah.
Well, I told Fred about it. How it was a terrible thing. I tried to tell him how much it hurt.
Mm-hmm.
He was a clod. Told me to have a drink and forget it. And it wasn't long before we were having the beef. Oh, Fred, he isn't very bright at times, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think a fella'd have a little sympathy for his wife at a time like that.
That's right.
Not old Fred. He's a clod. Told me to pour myself a little Reggie and shut up.
Was Moncrief there at the time?
Yeah. Him and Fred had been playing pinochle when I came home. I guess they'd been at it all afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Norman was on my side. He made Fred mad. And we got to fighting pretty good. Norman was right with me.
Yeah.
Telling Fred he ought to be quiet. I think Fred was sore about being beat at pinochle. He thinks he's a pretty good player. Not long after that, there was a shot, and Norman was dead.
Were you in the room at the time?
No.
Where were you?
Out in the kitchen. I went out to get some more ice.
Who was in the room when you left?
Just Fred and Norman.
No one else.
If there was, I'd have told you.
Just a minute. I'll get it. Here's Office Friday. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You'll have to call in tomorrow. Yes, ma'am. That's right.
What's going on here? You know Mrs. Regman?
No?
Mrs. Leo Regman?
Yeah, what about her?
She told the investigating officers there was another man in the apartment. Said that he left right after she heard the shots.
She would. No, he's got her nose where it doesn't belong.
Oh, she's pretty certain about what she saw.
Then ask her. She saw the man. Let her tell you who he was.
You don't think it'd be better if you did?
Then it ain't going to be good because I don't know.
Did you hear anybody come into the place when you were in the kitchen?
Nope.
You're pretty sure of that, huh?
Now, look. I got enough troubles. Me and my old man's in jail. My face feels like it's coming off. I want to get home and get some sleep. If I knew anything, I'd have told you a long time ago. Now, leave me alone.
What did you do after you heard the shot?
Went in to see what it was.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. Just opened the door and looked. Norman was lying there on the floor.
Where's your husband?
Just standing there looking at Norman.
Where was the gun?
Fred had it.
Whose gun is it?
I don't know.
You never saw it before?
I don't like guns. I don't like to have them around. I don't look at them when they are. I never saw it before. You talked to Fred yet?
No, not yet.
No. Well, he'll tell you the same story, same way I told it. You'll see. There's no need to even talk to him.
Is that right?
Sure. You already got it the way I told you. What more you want?
Just one thing I can think of.
Yeah?
The truth.
You are listening to Dragnet, the authentic story of your police force in action.
Frank and I attempted to talk to the husband, Fred Purcell. He was too drunk to be coherent. We made arrangements for some hot coffee to be brought in. His wife was taken to the interrogation room to wait until we could fill out the reports. At 4:20 a.m., we got another hotshot call regarding a cutting on South 5th Street. The investigating officers found the knifing had resulted from a quarrel between a man and his common-law wife. The woman was in critical condition. She was removed to Georgia Street Receiving Hospital, and the husband was booked in at the main jail on charges of assault with a deadly weapon. We notified Chief of Detectives Thad Brown and Captain Lorman of the shooting and the cutting. During the next hour, there were 2 armed robbery reports, several burglaries, and numerous fights. 5:31 a.m. Frank went down the hall and brought back 2 beef and cheese sandwiches and some coffee. At 5:46, we got a call from the men in Unit 1K5 telling us that they were on the way into the office with the gun that had been used in the killing of Norman Mancreef. 10 minutes later, 2 uniformed officers brought in a pair of possible car thieves. One of them was held in the hall while Frank and I talked to the driver of the car, a Melville Hulbert, age 19.
Where'd you get the car? I bought it.
Where?
Well, from a lady. She put an ad in the paper, said she had this year Sharp 52 Ford for sale.
You remember what paper?
Well, no, sir. Yeah, I think it was one of them morning ones.
When did you buy the car?
I don't know.
Well, you must have some idea.
I reckon maybe it was in January. Yeah, around there in January.
Let me take a look at your driver's license, will you?
Yes, sir. There you are.
Take it out of the wallet, will you?
Oh, yes, sir. Here it is.
This your present address?
Sir?
You still live here on Echo Park Boulevard?
Oh, no, sir, I moved. I got me a place over on Olympic.
How long you lived there?
You mean on Olympic, sir?
That's right.
I don't know. Reckon maybe a couple months.
Don't you know for sure?
Well, see, I got this here bad memory. I think it's been a couple months.
You live with your family?
No, sir. They down south.
Where's that?
New Orleans.
Do they know you're out here?
Yes, sir.
When did you come to California?
August.
Last year?
Yeah, last year.
You got a job?
Aircraft factory out in the valley.
It's kind of a long drive to work for you, isn't it?
Yes, sir. But I got a good deal on the place I live at, see?
How come you haven't reported the change of address to the Department of Motor Vehicles?
Reckon I just forgot. I got this here bad memory, you know.
When you bought the car, did you finance it?
Sir?
You buy it on time, you pay cash for it.
Cash.
You got the pink slip then, haven't you?
The lady sold it to me, signed it.
Where is it?
I don't know, sir.
Didn't she give it to you?
No, sir. She just told me she was going to send it to Sacramento someplace.
Did you get any kind of a receipt for your money?
Yes, sir.
Well, where's it?
In my wallet?
Let's see it.
Yes, sir. I got it right here someplace. Pretty funny about this.
What's that?
Well, I wouldn't steal no car. It's pretty funny to think I did.
Mm-hmm. All right, now how about that receipt? Have you found it yet?
Yes, sir. Now, here it is.
Who wrote this?
The lady sold me the car.
Is her name here?
Oh, yeah, I guess so. She wrote it.
When did you say you bought the car?
Well, January, I guess.
This year, huh?
Yes, sir.
You sure you couldn't be wrong about the date?
Oh, now I don't know. Maybe.
Where'd you meet the woman who wrote this receipt?
At her place?
Where's that?
Out in Westwood. I think that's what you call it. Apartment out there.
You remember the address?
No, sir.
Haven't got any idea at all where it is, huh?
Well, it was up on Wilshire. I know that. Apartment on the second floor.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was number B or something like that. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, I'll check.
Now, what'd you make all that big deal about when I bought the car?
Date on the bill of sale is a year ago.
Oh, somebody must have made a mistake.
Now, we knew that when you walked in. We're trying to find out who. What do you got, anything?
Yeah, it checks out. Names in the book. West Department D.
Yeah, now that could be it. I know it was on the second floor. Looks right out on Wilshire Boulevard.
All right, Mel. You go over there and sit down. We'll be right with you.
It's going to be okay?
We'll see.
Now, look, I didn't steal that car, mister. I should have told him about how I moved. But I did not steal the car.
All right. You go over there and sit down, will you?
Yes, sir.
What do you think?
I don't know. Seems to check out. Date on the bill of sale could be a mistake. Woman might have just written the wrong year.
Yeah, it's pretty close to first if it happened.
I'd like to give the kid his first felony booking, don't you?
Yeah. What do you want to do?
Well, let's hold him over so we can check with the woman.
Yeah.
Officers? Gonna be all right?
We'll see.
You ain't going to send me to jail.
No, not yet. You can wait down the hall, will you?
Now, as long as you know I did not steal the car.
We'll check with the woman first thing in the morning. I want to tell you one thing, though.
Yes, sir?
We're going to give you a break by not booking you right now. Don't make us sorry about it.
Oh, no, sir. Thank you.
All right, go on. Get out of here.
Where's Jimmy?
He's down the hall. The officer there will take you.
Yes, sir. Officers?
Yeah.
Thank you again. You hear?
Yeah, you take care of that bad memory, will you?
I got it. Headquarters Smith. Oh, yeah. Yeah? What's the address? No, he's not here. Just a second, I'll check. Policeman out in Hollywood wants permission to kill a skunk.
What?
Wants to kill a skunk caught in a trap.
I guess it's all right if it's the only way they can get rid of it.
Well, the way he puts it, it is.
All right.
Go ahead. Yeah. What's that? Well, you better check with the watch commander. Yes. Okay, good night. We got an injured animal report. Turns out the people out there had trouble with skunks, got a permit for the traps, and caught one tonight. Once they had it, they didn't know how to get rid of it.
I better make a report on it.
Must have been pretty funny. Huh? Officer said we could use the skunk in the department.
What was that?
Officer said we could use the skunk in the department. Says he'd qualify on the target range any day.
I get it. Headquarters Friday. No, we got the word. Where you been? Check out with the lab? No, we'll wait. 1K5.
Yeah?
They just picked up the third person in the shooting. 3 minutes later, the officers in Unit 1K5 brought in a tired-looking man in his late 20s. His name was Harry Carnell. He'd been drinking, but he seemed to be in complete control of his faculties. We ran his name through R&I, but we found no record on him. The officers also brought in the murder weapon, a .32 caliber automatic. A check of gun records gave us the name of the store where it had been bought and the name of the owner. According to the registration, it belonged to Fred Purcell. The crime lab reported there were no fingerprints on the weapon. We tried once more to talk to Purcell, but again we were unable to. We asked Harry Carnell, the latest suspect, to tell us the story of the shooting.
I went up to the place to collect some money Mancrief owed me.
What happened when you got to the apartment?
Knocked on the door and Purcell let me in.
Who was in the room?
Just him and Mancrief.
That's all?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Well, I came in, said I had to have the loot, and Mancrief told me he was stony.
Yeah.
He said to check him tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Purcell got on his back, said he was always welching, and the beef started.
You mean between them, huh?
Yeah, they were both pretty gassed when I got there.
You have anything to drink with them?
No, I had a date, sir. That's what I needed the money for. I got a girl with a pretty big appetite. I was broke, and I figured I'd tap Mancrief for what he owed me.
All right.
Well, anyway, these two got in a big beef. Purcell told Mancrief to get out. He wouldn't go, so Purcell ran over to a desk there in the room and hauled out this big gun, started to blaze away.
How many shots did he fire?
Well, one's all I remember. Might have been more, but I didn't spend a lot of time counting.
Just one, huh?
Yeah. Well, a guy sets a clay pigeon on your head. You ain't going to stand there.
What happened then?
Well, Purcell pointed the gun at me. Said I should get out, too. I didn't feel like telling him he was wrong.
During the time you were there, did you see anybody else at all?
No. Fred's wife was around someplace, I guess.
Why do you say that?
Well, they started yelling at each other. I heard Mancrief say they'd bother Harriet. That's Fred's wife, Harriet.
Uh-huh.
I took off like a big bird.
Where'd you go?
My place. Had a couple of belts and then walked by the apartment to see what was going on. An old broad there started yelling about how I was the guy who ran out of the place after the shooting. Next thing I know, I got the collar on, and here I am.
Uh-huh. What was Purcell doing when you last saw him?
Just standing over Mancrief, holding the gun, looking like a cover on a pulp magazine.
You willing to sign a statement on what you just told us?
Well, sure. I got no part in this action. Just went to collect a bet at the wrong time, that's all.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty lousy night. Missed my date, didn't collect the money, end up in the can. It's pretty lousy.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not the only one, though. Old Purcell always thought he was such a great card player. He's a real fish. He lost $6 tonight.
Well, you're part right.
Huh?
He lost more than that, didn't he? Harry Carnell was taken to the report room where he made a full statement. At 7:03 a.m., Lieutenant Ray Giese from Homicide Division came in and took over the investigation. Fred Purcell was questioned, and he made a voluntary statement that he'd shot and killed Norman Mancrief. He couldn't remember why he'd done it. He was removed to the main jail and booked in on a charge of violation of Section 192 PC, manslaughter. His wife and Carnell were released from custody. We made out reports to all divisions for the follow-ups on crimes committed during the night. At 8:02 a.m., the men on the day watch came in and relieved us.
It's going to be a nice day.
Yeah.
A few clouds up there. Might keep the heat down.
Yeah, let's go.
You want to stop for breakfast?
Well, I guess we might as well, yeah.
What do you think, Joe? You like to draw the business office for permanent duty?
No, sir, not me. I guess okay once in a while. I don't think I'd like it steady, though.
Huh?
Not busy enough.
The story you have just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On November 18th, trial was held in Department 98, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. In a moment, the results of that trial. Further investigation proved that the purchase of the automobile by Melville Hulbert was legal, and no further charges were made. Frederick Neal Purcell was tried and found guilty of manslaughter and received punishment as prescribed by law. Manslaughter is punishable by imprisonment in the state penitentiary for a period not to exceed 10 years. have just heard Dragnet, a series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice comes from the Office of Chief of Police W.H. Parker, Los Angeles Police Department.